everybody, and welcome to Rise of Drekis, Chapter 2, Episode 10. Hello, players. My favorite players. How are you all doing?
Hello.
Good. How's our favorite DM who totally didn't try to kill us last session?
I'm great. Yeah, things are
Oh,
pretty
level 7 fighter that you gave us. No worries.
You know, you were warned, and you decided it was fine. And you know what? It worked out in the end. And then you got a scroll of fireball and a scroll of web, if I recall correctly. So,
yeah, that is true.
Aside from Elaine being on 1 hit points and Vincent being on 3 hit points, I think you're all doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
What a merciful GM.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hell, Koibu.
Thank you. Thank you for not killing us.
Don't even try. Don't.
I cannot participate in that. I cannot do that.
Thank you. I appreciate having players with integrity.
Yeah, well, I'm the one with 1 HP, so, you know. So.
You need it the most.
So this is the composition of our party. Right here on the map before us. Looks like little Crumb is down 1 HP. Vincent's down quite a lot. Vordren, despite being the tankiest of them, still at full HP. Do we think that Vordren might actually be in on it? Is he actually working with the enemy? That's why he's not taking any damage?
I don't think so, because he's controlled by a player character.
That's very valid. And Jeff would never, backstab or.
I hope not.
No, he's reliable, 100%. All right.
Yeah, I'm the person who's on the side of good.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where are we? We're in town. Mm-hmm. We're in the outpost itself. You've gotten some messages off these boats. There was a cute moment where Lord Campbell came to talk to sick Elaine and brought her some flowers, I think, or some plants of some kind. And
California poppies.
That's right.
And something else. I forgot what the same flower was, my bad.
You know, there's this long-standing legend in California that it is illegal to pick the California poppies because they're the state plant. And they grow all over the place. And every Californian I've ever known has always had this assumption that they're illegal to pick. Like, if there's a fine, you get in trouble if you pick these flowers in the wild. And it's not true. It's not true remotely. Like, there are rules you're not allowed to remove plants from like special like U.S. forests, and there's some rules regarding like where you can and cannot extract resources and plants. But picking poppies off the side of the road, not illegal at all. But everyone in California thinks it is, and it wasn't until I moved to Colorado and got curious about it one day that I actually looked it up. Don't know why this is the case, but if you were going to try and arrest Lord Campbell for picking California poppies, you can't. All right. It's not actually the law.
I did not want to, but...
He's also the governor, so technically you answer to him. So, just saying.
You're very defensive. I didn't do anything, okay? I haven't even talked about him. It's okay, I'm not going to arrest him. You can keep him, okay? It's okay.
Just giving you a little bit of real world and in-game lore going on here. But that lore aside, let's pick up where we left off with the party hanging out on one of the very rare rainy days here along this coastline. It doesn't rain often. We get maybe 10, 15 days of rain a year along this coast, if it's a good year. And this is one of those few rainy days. I think our party is gathered around in the fort, resting. Vincent making sure that everyone's getting all the medical attention they need so they can heal at 3 HP per day. The enemy, somewhere up in those mountains or beyond, or maybe already having passed over the mountains and just outside the gates waiting to blow everything down. Who knows where they are? There's no scouting. What's the party up to?
Depends where my injured peoples are for me. I'm assuming that they're healing, so you know what? I'm probably making the teeth necklace.
Oh, right.
Like they're inside getting treated in the infirmary, and I'm outside sitting on the steps, and I'm like, I have a knife, and I'm like whittling slowly into each tooth to like thread string. So that's what I'm up to.
And is this in your own personal chambers? Is this like out in one of those covered but public areas? Are you hanging out with Elaine while you're doing this? Are you hanging out with Vincent while you're doing this? What is the environment in which you are drilling teeth for a necklace?
I assume that they're inside like an infirmary or something.
Yeah. I think there's not a dedicated infirmary, but I think Elaine's just hanging out in her personal quarters. Unless she says otherwise.
Well, it
No,
depends.
I'm hanging out there. That's fine.
If Elaine wants company, if she's in a talky mood, if she wants someone there, then I'll be happy to keep her company. But otherwise, I'm going to be outside the infirmary just sitting down, whittling.
What about you, Vincent?
Yeah, I mean, you could be in my room whittling. That's also fun. I don't mind.
Okay.
Probably curled up in bed with a book. I don't know if perhaps there was some information about any. I don't know if I carry around any magical type, study type materials, but I want to make sure that I knew the ins and outs of the stuff I was sent.
Excellent. I'm going to add Fireball and Web to your character sheet. Not that you'll have them spells you can memorize, but just so you can pop them into chat whenever you want to read them.
Cool.
And then you can sort it all out.
I think I'm probably on my bed staring over at the giant portrait of the Empress. At some point, I'm going to swing my legs out. Well, you said there's a giant portrait in my room. I didn't make that up. Like you said, there was a portrait of Karina there. You described it. Okay. I'm going to swing my legs out of bed, all bandaged up, getting on my feet, because I said that even while I'm injured, I will still walk around the fort from time to time, reminding people who last time fled that I'm still around, that I'm in charge, and that they really let me down when they ran away, right? So I'll swing my legs out of bed and I'll walk over and I'll say, Krob, we need to have a quick talk with Vincent. Can you accompany me? I'm still a little, I don't want anybody invisible creep up on me while I walk over there.
Yes, and I'll escort her.
And I'll quickly make my way over to Vincent's room, and I'll make sure that we quickly open the door and quickly close it again. I'm not knocking, I'm just barging in,
I feel the air when I'm in my room. We're in the room. She closes the door, and I'm searching for like an invisible, not Dobby, what was his fucking name? Nook.
No.
I'm searching for invisible Nook. I'm going, I don't know if there's an invisible person. If you run around fast enough, they're not going to be able to you're going to feel wind at least. So just making sure.
All right,
Nobody
you begin to
invisible.
search the room for an invisible creature in here. Make me a perception check at -4. So just roll a perception check. We'll subtract 4 from it. You still want a 21 or higher at the end of the day.
I'm sure that with my incredible rolling skills,
There's probably not an invisible person in here. Like maybe
Okay,
if they've
cool.
managed to stick themselves up in a rafter or under a bed or in a corner that
Yeah.
you might have there's probably not.
okay,
wouldn't
cool.
worry about it.
Okay. I'm turning around from the door. I have my hand like this. I say, Vincent, are you decent?
Yeah,
If he wasn't, I would have felt something run around the room.
you see Vincent on
You're
his
feeling
bed.
the air,
Yeah.
He's got his book set down because he's looking amusedly at Krob. He's thinking to himself, what in the world?
I'm looking for an invisible Nook.
Oh,
I'll walk over to him. I'll look at the. I don't know. Are you studying the Fireball page, or what are you looking at currently? When I look at your book.
yeah, it's the part about evocation magic in general, not just Fireball.
Okay. Well, I'll tap the book, and I'll sit down on the bed, and I'll say, Vincent, this is a great responsibility that was given to you here. I just want to make sure that you are all right with this.
It's sad that it's come to this, but this will be the easiest way to solve all our problems with a grand ball of fire.
Yeah, I understand that you
Yes.
just never struck me as somebody who likes to, use grand fireballs. So I was figured you'd be more into big words.
You're right. Absolutely. It's a shame that the wizard on the other side doesn't share my opinions.
Typical for
Sometimes,
an orc.
sometimes when you have to do something this big, it can surprise you how ugly those things get. I've never seen a wizard cast fireball in my time, but I've seen someone heat metal. I've seen people being cooked alive in their armor. It's not gonna be pretty.
That's one of the things at wizarding school that they never really teach you too much, the aftermath of the spells. It's horrific.
Yeah, it is. But Vincent, whatever happens, okay? If you have to do this, if it comes down to this, I want you to know that nobody's tried harder than you to keep them away from it, and they made that choice. Okay? I really believe that you were very favorable, and there's no blame on you if you have to use this in the end.
Thank you, Elaine. Maybe you missed out on your calling as a doctor.
Well, I don't know. It's just, I've seen some things, and sometimes I wish somebody came to me and would have told me. All right, well, I have to go and find Willa, because there's still a talk I have to have with her. Unfortunately, it's raining. We'll see. Crum, you stay with Vincent, okay? Make
Are you sure that you wouldn't like me to escort you? What if someone invisible comes and tries to hurt you on your way there?
Well, then I have Willa with me.
Crum, I need to make sure that you're here so that the invisible people can't get me.
All right, I guess. And I'll stand watch by the door.
And I'll try to find Willa in the fort.
Yes. It's a gentle rain coming down today. Not a lot of wind, so it's just pretty still, but straight down. There's in your fort, I'm going to bring us to a little image of our fort so we can understand. There's this like covered balcony looking thing. If I can just remove it for a moment. You can see right here along this brick section, that is a covered bit where the roof covers it so you can like hang out and walk around if it's raining without getting wet. And any
Right,
sensible
but you can
person
still see in here, right?
Yeah, it's like a little easy covering thing, a normal ordinary thing. And any sensible person would be hanging out not in the rain. But Willa has pulled up a spot right on the fountain in the middle of the courtyard, in the middle of the rain, and is sitting there with a piece of wood in hand and a knife in hand, like a long piece of wood, like a 6-foot long piece of wood, and is slowly carving, sitting quietly in the rain by herself, as far away from anyone as you can get, and definitely in a spot where you're going to catch cold if you just hang out there too long.
Mm-hmm. I think I spot her, from up from the balcony, and I just look at her. Does she seem? What does she make any expression on her face? Like, does she look concerned, or is she just, quietly carving away?
Give me a charisma check for how well to read her face from afar. You know her pretty well, so you can get like a +3 on this. You've had some, yeah. You can see the look of, it's like a real intense focus. And you know Willa's backstory. She's from Outlast. It's a city in Drekis. that is famous because in a war a couple hundred years ago, they were quickly conquered by the enemy, and then they, ended up joining sides as a conquered area, like Vicky France, and no one has let them live it down ever since. And their name was changed from Tulwick. The city name was changed from Tulwick to Outlast as a reminder that the people of this place have a lot to make up for their ancestors. And Willa is from this place that capitulated kind of easily and then worked with the enemy. And, her fleeing from battle it's exactly what you would say about a person from Outlast, is that they would like bail at the first sign of hardship and run away. And she has been so desperately trying to prove that that is not who her people are. That was one of the primary reasons she signed up. And yet here she is, having fled from battle in terror and fright, and now trying to make sense of what's going on. So here she is in the middle of the courtyard, carving what looks to be probably a new bow from scratch.
Right. I guess I'm going to make my way into the courtyard, slowly trudging towards her through the gentle rain.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can approach. She doesn't look up from her work, even though it's clear that you're arriving. Your boots splashing in the little puddles that are forming.
I'm going to sit down on the side of the fountain, across my arms, and I'll wait.
A minute passes. 2 minutes. 4 minutes. 6 minutes. She seems pretty content just to sit here quietly doing her thing.
And she doesn't even glance at me. She's just whittling away.
She must know that you're here. There's no way that she's oblivious to you. And you are her commanding officer, who specifically requested her for this job, for this mission.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, here she is, for absolutely no reason, soaking herself to the bone in the cool rain in the middle of the muddy courtyard, carving a bow that she doesn't need to be carving because you have plenty of backup bows, and she still has her own existing bow, and giving you the cold shoulder. 6 minutes turns into 8 minutes. 8 minutes turns into 10 minutes. Not a word said. How long are you gonna wait, Elaine?
I'm going to wait for half an hour.
That's a long time to be in silence.
It's a very long time,
Yeah.
yes.
To sit in awkward silence in the rain while you're on 1 HP?
Yep.
Don't roll for a cold.
That would be one way to end the campaign.
Maybe around minute 15 or so. Willow will. She's got her wood lying around. She's got her knife and her piece of wood, and she's just sort of like scraping and scraping. And around 15 minutes or so, she'll just turn the knife over and sort of hold it out to you, handle in your direction, still not making eye contact or even lifting her gaze.
I'll
Just-
take the knife. I'll have a look at it. I'll turn it in my hand.
It's a regular, everyday knife that you would have if you're a soldier. It's like your sidearm, or not even your sidearm, but like you're just a tool. And then she'll sort of hunch over more. And the sort of like, if you're gonna get your head chopped off, you want to present your neck as a nice flat surface for someone to, you don't want any mistakes. And so she'll go from leaning over and carving to handing you the knife, and then just like leaning way over in a gesture that could easily be interpreted, but might not necessarily mean that, like, I'm ready for you to finish.
Stab me in the neck. Does she have that bow still, that piece of wood still in her hand that she's carving for making a bow out of it?
Yeah, it's still in her offhand.
I'll try picking it out of her hand.
She lets it go pretty easily.
I'll have a look at her carving work.
You know, it's early. It'll take a long time. You don't have power tools, and she doesn't have a lathe. She doesn't have a planer. She doesn't even have proper woodworking tools. She just got like a knife. So she's days away from having anything remotely resembling a useful bow.
I will try peeling some of the, if there's still thin bark on the wood, I'll try peeling off some bark of it using the knife she's just had it around.
Yeah.
Is it sharp?
Yeah. It's a good condition knife. It's ordinary, it's average, it's common, but she keeps her weapons sharp.
So as I peel off the bark, I'll look at the piece of wood. I won't look at Willow, and I will say, you didn't visit me after I came back to the fort.
She will slightly remove herself from that, like, please chop my head off position to just the downcast, clearly depressed and frustrated stance that she had before, but she doesn't respond.
So are you not going to talk to me about it?
What is her? I need to take a look at one of her stats real quick.
Charisma? It is abysmal. It's like a 6.
She does have 6 charisma. 5 willpower, 6 charisma. Yeah. Ooh. She'll finally look up and over at you, shoulders hunched, back, bent. Say, there's nothing to say.
Oh, you want to at least explain to me what happened?
I was scared. And I ran. I fled. I left you behind. And I ran.
And at some point you stopped running and gathered up your people, yeah?
Yeah.
Were you afraid that we wouldn't be able to best them? Were you afraid that we were all going to die on that mountain?
It wasn't a plan. It was just overwhelming fear. There was no other thought with it. It was just a wave of cowardice.
And you think that in the military there's no place for cowards?
I've spent my youth, my life, my pride on not being that. I've defined myself by resistance and rejection of all the things they say about my people, and defined myself by proving that that's not what we are or who we are, and thought after Arrow Island I'd That was all in the past, and here we are. Couldn't even see him. And still, just a coward. Just a coward through and through. I've let you down. I've deserted my post. I failed you. I failed our team. I failed our objectives. I failed our kingdom. I failed my people and my family and myself. And if there's anything I could ask of you now, it would be to put me out of my misery and never tell my parents what happened here. Just let them tell them I died in combat. Because if I go home, they're going to see it on my face and they're going to know. I can't live with that.
But you did tell your parents that after Arrow Island, I've decided to take you with me. They know, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you do realize I'm standing out here in the rain, terribly hurt, because there's no place in this entire keep I feel safer than right in this place, yeah. If that wizard came up right now and wanted to kill me, I would not be afraid. Because I have never, for 1 second, in all this time that we fought together, doubted your loyalty or your capability. And if you were absolutely perfect, you would not be fighting by my side.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, you've been my right hand throughout this entire expedition, here as well as back then. We've gone through some really cruel things, and despite me losing 2 officers back on that other island, you stuck by me. You saw them die, and you are still with me. You decided that I'm the leader you want to, fight next to, even though I lost 2 others of your standing right then and there. But you believed that, despite the failures there, we would have a good working relationship going forward. You were not afraid to follow. And you were not afraid to come with me and be a partner in many things by my side. Without you, I couldn't have kept this entire fort up. I couldn't have gone on all those expeditions without you challenging yourself and keeping all those troops together, right? You've been one of the most reliable stones in this fortress. And if there's one thing I am disappointed in, it's not that you ran, but it's that you did not come to me afterwards. That's the only thing that disappointed me that day.
She begins to methodically chew the skin on her lip. Sighs a couple of times pretty heavily. Gazes at the puddles on the ground.
Somebody once told me, the bravest thing you can do is, after failing horrendously, after you think you have failed everybody and everything, and you are just miserable, and you don't want to do it anymore. The bravest thing you can do is get up the next day and do it all over again. So all I want you to do is gather yourself up, okay? Rally the troops once more, and be ready to be absolutely terrified a second time in case it's coming.
She'll meet your eyes, continue to chew, but bob her head up and down in understanding.
Okay.
Okay.
Then do me the favor and continue carving inside, because the last thing I want is my commanding officer to be catching a cold out here. You have people to command there and there, and I promise you, at least 10 of the men are already talking because you're standing out there.
Okay.
Right. Okay, because I
She'll-
think you have a job to do.
She'll reach out for her knife and stick.
I'll give her her things back.
She'll draw herself to full height, give you the appropriate salute, and he'll turn in the direction of the barracks and walk.
I'll look at her walking.
She walks like a human, 1 foot after the other.
I'll let out a deep sigh, and I look around this fort.
You can
And
see
it's hard. You know? It's hard being in this place where we're all out of place here. We're fighting for a bigger cause than just us. We are a very mixed bunch of people. You are not even born or raised in this actual place, you know? And Elaine got beaten up pretty badly last time, so she's trying to be, you know, the leader she needs to be. She's trying to follow the words that she gave to Willa when she says, you have to be ready to get back up and just walk back there and then get cut down again, because that's what your job is. You know, it does count for her as it counts for Willa as well.
Well, while all of this is going on, back in Vincent's room, you've got the scrolls and you've got your books. I'm sure you have some small notebooks of your own that you keep track of your personal studies. Although part of your spellbook is just your personal studies and understanding. It's you and Crumb. Is Vordrin here too?
No, this is still the first. He thinks Vordrin's just hanging out around town.
Okay. Well then, Crumb and Vincent, I think it's quiet in here. The rain outside does leave a little like pitter patter on the rooftops, which are these, you know, rounded red tiles. Vincent's clearly working on something. Crumb, you're probably gonna get bored real quick.
No.
No?
I've got my teeth.
So I forgot about your teeth. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the two
I'm
of
just
you are
working away.
quietly working away on your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Well, I don't think he's helping me, unfortunately, but
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
That'd be cool, though.
Are the two of you comfortable in your silence together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, party. The day will pass. Anyone who's down hit points can gain 3 HP under the care of proficient healer with appropriate supplies.
That brings me to full, I think.
It does, yes.
Brings me to just under 10%.
Cool. And that brings us to September the 11th, which is a Thursday. The rain does stop this next day. A nice fog sets in. It's pretty still.
Oh, we don't like fog.
Pretty
Fog is
quiet.
not good.
Mm-hmm.
Fog is great. I love me some fog. What's the plan? Is there a plan? Are we just going to sit here? Are we just going to rest until someone's at full HP? Are we concerned that the enemy might be coming for us? What's the dealio, team?
Krob is concerned that the enemy is coming for us, like, in this castle, because we don't have enough, like, supplies to, like, they could smoke us out. Do exactly what we wanted to do to them. But she's also under the care and direction of Elaine.
Vincent's under the impression that we are taking a 10-day break.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't think Elaine likes it, but she also knows that walking into battle on very little health is not a smart idea. So I guess we'll have to wait and rest.
Okay.
I think because Krob is anxious about, like, potentially being ambushed, she's at full HP. She's had a whole day to make the teeth necklaces. I don't know how many days it's gonna take, but she's gonna go out into the surrounding area and just try and spend her time out there to scout during the day. You know what I mean? Like, why would she be in the fort if she could be out there?
Totally. Now, you say the surrounding area. I'd like a little more granularity on that. Are you talking about the areas in and around the town, like, within a couple of miles of where you are? Or are you talking about going, 20 miles off towards the mountains to scout?
No.
Okay.
More of, like, immediate area. Like, if I was scared of someone getting into my house, I might go, like, to the front yard, to the backyard.
Right.
That kind of area, just like,
right around
keep
the
a fucking
fort.
eye out. Yeah.
Not so far from the fort that if you got into trouble, you couldn't call for reinforcements, right? Within shouting range. Okay.
Within a range that if someone was coming and I screamed, someone would hear me, and not just as an echo in the distance.
Got it. Okay. You can keep an eye out there now that it's not raining. Now it's just sort of foggy and misty.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nothing else for me to do.
I do have some questions about your other soldiers, right? You've got 16 people with you, 8 spearmen, 7 bowmen plus Willa. Are these people all packed in the fort with you? Are you splitting some of them to watching the town and some of them watching the fort? Like, how are you going to distribute your warrior population? Do we want to spread them out, or do we want to keep them concentrated right now? What's the plan?
Well, we have no idea how many orcs are actually coming for us is the problem. Like, we have no indication whatsoever how many there are. The last person to tell us about the number of orcs we might be facing was Nook Nook, and he is slightly unreliable. So I think we still have to, for these 14 days, split people. As unhappy as I am about it, but I still think that we should still patrol town.
You want me to go to town instead of around the fort?
Yes, I think you should set up in town probably.
Yeah.
With half of them.
Is that
and
like
just have
4 spearmen, 4 bowmen, all spearmen?
Yes.
Okay.
No, four spearmen, 4 bowmen. Crumb, make sure she has a horse there, if that's possible.
Yep.
So in case we need to travel real quick. Can I also have a horse at the fort? Is that a possibility?
You can commandeer horses from the local townspeople. You don't have any of your own, but you're a knight who's in charge of this stuff. You can just go to a person and say, give me your horse, and they have no... And that's your right as a ruler.
Excellent. I'll take Lord Campbell's horse. I'll commandeer that one. That one was pretty good last time.
Oh,
so.
fucking based.
He doesn't strike me as a great rider, anyways. So last time when we had to like charge down an orc in the darkness, he had a horse there, so I'm taking that horse. It was a fast and good horse. I'm taking that.
He will happily and willingly give you his horse.
Yeah. He likes being commandeered. It's okay. I'm keeping that was.
Someone's been playing too much Baldur's Gate 3. Now we got 4 spearmen, 4 bowmen, plus Crumb in town.
Yeah.
Is that like you're gonna patrol during the day but not at night, or are they gonna be taking shifts, day shift and night shift? Like, we got 24 hours in a day.
Gotta be both.
People aren't machines. They need rest, right? At most, you can push someone 12 hours a day. Even that is, you know, they'll do it, but no one's happy about 12-hour shifts for extended periods of time. I just need some specifics. Like, if I were going to ambush your warriors in the streets, how many people might be patrolling at any given moment for my, you know, army of invisible orcs to hack to pieces?
Well, let's see. If we have about 4 people patrolling in the fort, right? Then we have 4 people in the fort who are ready for exchanging, and then we can have 8 people in town, and have them in 4-man shifts. Whenever the first 4 men are done, they can go back to the fort, and then 4 new people can come back out. Does that make sense?
Which shift do you want me to take? Night shift or day shift? I feel like they'd be more likely to attack during the night.
Because they can see better, I agree. I think night shift is better. Plus, there's going to be more people alarmed during the day, like, you know, villagers and stuff. So I think during the night.
So 4 people during the daytime, 4 people at nighttime. Then they come back to the fort to rest. That leaves you with 12 soldiers in the fort at any given time. Half of them resting. Actually, 8 of them resting, 4 of them on watch in the fort at any given time, right? So 8 people are patrolling in one of the 2 places, and 8 people are resting. Perfect. And in town, are they 1 group of 4, or 2 groups of 2, or 4 groups of 1?
I will leave it up to Crumb how she wants to handle those people.
I think 2 groups of 2 is probably best, because if one gets picked off, then the other one can hopefully run and inform.
So like 1 bowman and 1 spearman, they'll be a team and they'll go together. Got it. Okay, perfect.
And then me at night, I'll be kind of like a rogue agent. When I sleep during the day, I want to be clear that Crumb is paranoid as fuck about getting ambushed, because there are invisible people walking around, and she thinks that there could be invisible people in this town. So she's not going to sleep like with everyone else on a bed and be a little sitting duck. She's gonna find somewhere very fucking weird to sleep. It might be like under a bed, but she's not gonna tell. She's not gonna make it obvious where she is. Yeah.
Right. You can like pull the blankets up over the pillow, which is turned to sort of like look like a lump in the bed while you hide under the bed or like maybe behind a box.
Just like sleep there casually. But yeah, she's just very paranoid.
On edge.
I think if Elaine realizes that Crumb is paranoid about the invisibility spell, she'll say, maybe you should try to find a way to counteract such a spell. You know, a way to identify somebody who's invisible.
Flour. I'm happy to grab some flour.
Yeah. Just
I don't know, flour, marbles,
problem.
coal, ash. I mean, anything is better than nothing, yeah?
Yeah. Once I get into town, I'll grab like a bunch of flour. I'll have like a little satchel of it, so that if someone came, I could fucking grab a handful of flour onto them, and I'll grab some marbles to put on the ground to make noise. I'm a little I can actually make traps. I'll make like a little fucking flower trap. I'll spend an hour, my first hour there, making a little flower trap.
Yeah, you can get a thing where if you set the trap and the door opens, flour will just drop down on anyone walking through the doorway. So if an invisible person opens the door, they'll get floured. And anyone who should be opening that door is going to knock first, and then you can walk over and disable the trap so it doesn't flower them. Yeah,
I will tell everyone to knock first.
Perfect. What about you, Vincent, during all of these preparations and resting time? Are you as paranoid? Are you relaxed? Are you planning?
I'm pretty unconcerned.
Scheming?
I keep my door unlocked, open a tiny bit.
Keep it unlocked and cracked open?
Yeah. And
why?
Bordrin checked in at the very beginning, but I tell him to enjoy town. Don't worry too much about an attack. It's probably not going to happen.
Why do you keep your door unlocked and cracked open? Out of curiosity.
Want to keep myself approachable.
That's very diplomatic of you. I get very different feelings coming from you. You seem pretty pleased. You know, like this is like everything's going according to plan. Are you optimistic? Or are you just unconcerned?
Yeah, I'm very optimistic. I feel like when we do fight, they're going to get absolutely crushed. I don't think they're in any type of shape to mount a attack on this place, and if they did, that would be good for us. So, as tragic as it would be that the town would get caught up, it would be very unfavorable for them to attack us.
We're such different characters.
For you, this is like the peak power of your party.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that they were just as injured, if not more so. So they've probably got a bunch of people recovering at the fort as well. They just lost a bunch of people. To me, there's almost no chance that they're going to attack. And when I, like, across some days, when I see the patrols, I see that we have a lighter patrol than there could be. And I approve, pretty much. I nod as I look out the window.
All right. It's looking good. We're in a safe spot. Jungle of Death is on the other side of the mountains. We got scrolls, we got warriors, we got walls, we got a whole town of people. We've got all of our soldiers are on full HP. Those orcs that fled, they were fucked. They were all injured. Do they have a healer with herbalism on hand? Maybe, maybe not. They've lost a bunch of their high-level warriors, and their wizard, she's just some fucking, like, diviner. She's not the evocationist here to conquer things. She was the person that was brought in to, like, inspect the land afterwards. She's probably not even that capable of, like, a combat wizard, right? She might be a diviner or a transmuter or some bullshit like that.
I wouldn't go that far. I respect their wizard, but I just think they're not in fighting shape.
Okay. Well, it's looking good then, from your point of view.
Yeah.
Excellent. Why don't we take our first break here, and we'll come back on the other side with a little more Rise of Drekis. If I can find the right button. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of Drekis. So our party is resting. We're recuperating. We've got our patrols. We know how everything is going. The only question I have left for you is, at what point are you well rested enough to move on? Did someone said something about a 10-day rest? That'd be 30 HP. Is that what we need? Are we going all the way up to 42 hit points?
I implied 20 day.
Oh, you said 2 10-day.
Wow.
My mistake.
2 10-day, yeah. But we probably don't need that much. I was estimating, so 15 maybe.
Okay. Yeah. 15 days, 14 more would get you all the way to full HPs. That sounds great to me. Is that the plan?
Sure. I mean, it's not like we know what they are planning, so why not?
I'm following Elaine's watch generally, but then also if, let's say, it got to day like 10 or 12, and there were weird-ass rumorings in the town, weird behaviors and stuff, I caught a whiff of something sinister, I might run back to the fort and be like, we need to, like, more quickly. Because Crumb is just suspicious, worried. I think she's more worried than the other two, but I think that she can be more worried than the other two because she's not as injured.
Yeah.
One day, I tell Crumb, could you help set up that flower mechanism on my door?
Vincent, I'm in town. How are we talking?
One day when you come to visit me, I should say.
Oh, okay. Sure. That's fine. Here I go.
Yeah, you can set it up. Not a problem.
I'll do that on Elaine's door too. And I'd also like I'd like to rig a little bell to it too. So that it's not just like a boof. I mean, that would wake you up regardless.
But it'll go like ding ding ding.
Like a little
customer service
shop.
door. Yeah. Excellent.
And we will tell everyone, knock. If you don't knock, you will be knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Just because I feel the assassin coming my way, Mordrin and I are, of course, resting in the same room during the night.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are any windows, I'd like to rig up a little bell to those as well.
Okay. The existing windows are not openable. They are.
Good.
Oh, they.
Fantastic.
How do your windows work? Let me.
He's planned out the window mechanics.
Yeah. Well, because the fort that your fort is based on is a real fort from Santa Barbara. It is the old Presidio fortress, so it's being pulled from real stuffs. There are no windows on the outside, but there are windows on the inside looking inward. But those windows are not like swinging open windows. They're just like
Yes.
So. Oh, I had something. Oh, right, Vincent. Vordrin's your bodyguard. You guys room together. You hang together. You've been together a long, long time. The burning question that everyone's been wondering: is there anything more to this relationship than a bodyguard? You guys are real close. You hang out all the
Real
time.
close.
You room together. Is there some sort of extra going on here?
Nothing extra past a nice dose of loyalty and honor for Mordrin.
Okay. And this is not like an Alexander the Great and Hephaestion sort of vibe going on here.
We can, I will neither confirm nor deny those rumors.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Great. Well, we're going to skip a little bit of time here as we all rest before events happen, because events will happen before you get your 15 days.
Doesn't matter.
Why don't they matter?
But I'm just saying, you can say whatever number you want. You know, if something happens, something happens. Like, you can make plans, but it's probably not going to come that way.
Yeah. Event! A townsperson has baked a pie for me. Yay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's see here.
Roll for pie deliciousness.
Now that
Rock
is
skill.
it's a good roll to make there. That was need to make a little roll for an NPC over here. I should probably decide what I'm rolling for before I roll a die and then interpret the number. It's usually the right way to make these decisions. Oh, perfect. Okay. So on the late afternoon of Friday the 12th, probably right around the time that Crumb is going to town to take over for the night shift, one of the goat herders arrives in town in a huff, out of breath, and you can see him coming, Crumb. Someone is like directing him in your direction, and he runs up to you out of breath. He says, Crumb, oh my god, I saw them. I saw the Warg Riders. I saw like 10 of them or something. They're out west. They're near. We're, I don't know, maybe 5 miles to the west. They were resting in a grove of trees during the daytime. They were there with their wargs, and the wargs started sniffing and making some noises, and I left one goat behind, and I ran back here hoping the others would follow me, but they're coming. 10 of them. Orcs on wargs.
Mm-hmm. Were they just resting last time that you saw them?
Yeah, they were like passed out in a group of trees in the afternoon. Why are they sleeping in the afternoon? I mean, I guess they're orcs. They go at night, so they must be sleeping in the afternoon. But there's like they're only a few miles from here.
Shh. It's okay.
I ran
We'll
like
get you-
7 miles.
Yeah, I'll inform the patrols. Let everyone know. And you sure what you saw? How close did you get to them that you were able to tell?
I mean, looks around the town. 100 meters, 100 yards, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe 150. You know,
They were camping, like tents.
No tents. They were just passed out on the ground with the, near some bushes in a dense part of trees. I heard the wargs. That's what alerted me to them, and I went to see what. I thought maybe it was a wolf, just a regular wolf. And I got my stick, and I was ready to fend my goats. And then I peered through the forest and got past one of these big old raspberry bushes, and boom, wargs, orcs. I didn't get a good head. I thought they were maybe 10-ish, but I didn't stick around. I bolted, left my goats behind.
And just for me, that's closer to the town than it is to the fort? Or is it closer to the fort than it is to the town?
He's saying that he saw them like 7 miles to the west. So it's out this way. And if we scroll down on the map to that little tiny map below, we can see that, the town is here and the fort is here. So if you're 7 miles this way, like the town is technically the closer part, but only by a smidge. The distances between these things is pretty close. This, from point to point here is like 1.5 miles. So this is maybe a quarter of a mile, a half kilometer.
I'm going to thank him. Thank you. I'm going to tell him, obviously, don't go back there. Don't get yourself in trouble. If the goats follow you, that's good. If not, we will get you new fucking goats. And I'll go into the town and I will inform. I'll quickly find the 2 groups of people that were there.
Yep.
And I'll just tell them to be on extra high alert. And then I will run to the fort to inform Elaine and Vincent.
Excellent. This is on the 12th, so everyone can gain another 3 hit points. Elaine should be at 7. Vincent should be at 9.
This is the very next day.
Yeah, well, you got back to town on like the night of the 9th, and then you rested 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. But the first rest you didn't get HP for because you spent the whole day marching, so you really only got HP from 10 to 11 and 11 to 12.
Okay.
Well, during our talk about the wargs, I'll let Crumb know. I'll let people know. Probably an over-exaggerated report. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Really? Why? Why so?
You'd think they'd have a guard up. There's no way that guy would have made it out alive to let us know.
We met the goat herder. Do you think he lied to us?
Probably just saying things.
Elaine?
Well, I mean, I doubt a goat herder makes up 10 orcs that he might have seen. He might have seen one and panicked, but I'm sure there was something in the woods at least.
He said he saw wargs and orcs.
Well, let's assume there are 10 warg riders, okay? What would you rather attack? The fort or the town using that force?
Not sure.
If we were to ambush them now, Neal, how long does it take us to get to the spot that, goat herder described?
You march about 3 miles an hour, so it would take you about 2 hours plus time to gather all of your people. Let's call it 3 hours. If you'd made the call to go, you'd be there in 3 hours.
Elaine, you need your rest. We can't afford the 2-hour detour.
if they attack us, I'm not going to get any rest, unfortunately.
What are the chances there are even wargs there and orcs? Very slim, I'd say.
I don't know. Shouldn't we check it out at least?
It's probably what they want us to do. And we can do it. We can choose not to do it.
Well, if they wanted us to do it, then there would be people there, yeah? So you have to make up your mind. Either that goat herder didn't see anything, or there are people who are trying to lure us there, but not both can be true at the same time.
Not both can be true. Sure, it's possible that they want us to lure us there.
I wanna like nod my head and be like, yes, yes. And then once this convo's done, I want to talk to Elaine alone.
Okay. yes, Mr. Very good.
Elaine,
Let's wheel you out of here.
Very good. Go back to resting in my room.
I'll walk out.
Yeah.
I'll walk over to my flower trap. I'll be like, well, you could at least disarm it if we're going in there, right?
Elaine, what the fuck is wrong with Vincent? This is surely not a Vincent. That he would tell a goat herder who saw 10 orcs and wargs that he was seeing things. That is clearly illogical.
I don't know. Maybe that poison that he took had a bad effect on his health. I can't tell.
Something has gotten to him. Something has charmed him or poked him or prodded him or... That is not... He is not talking sensically. It is almost like the opposite of someone. If someone said they were looking onto a field and they said, "I see 10 orcs and 10 wargs," and I was there and I saw that they didn't see it, I'd be like, "Wow, this person's crazy." But then also, if I said, "Oh, I saw X, I saw the wargs and the orcs," and then someone said, "No, you probably didn't." That's also kind of crazy. If someone normal is saying that they saw something like that, like if I say, "I saw 5 horses on my way home," and someone said, "No, you didn't." That's a huge thing to pretend like you're not seeing. We need to not investigate him, but like...
What, do you want to strip search him? Figure
Is
out
that
what's
an
going
option?
on? Oh
Will
my
that-
god.
Will that even do anything? I don't think that would be doing
Probably
anything.
not. You know, sometimes there are suspicions and they're really hard to confirm.
No.
Vincent is all the time. He's accompanied by Wardren. And I'm very sure if Wardren thought something was going on, he'd be the first to try and protect Vincent from it. So if anything's going on, then they're both in on it.
We should speak to Wardren.
Well, yes, because he is, the most eloquent man I have ever met. I'm sure he will give us all the information that is needed.
Yes, I want to summon Wardren.
From that was irony, where are you going?
Wardren!
Vordrin
Yeah.
gets a call. Yeah, you show up.
Vordrin will leave Vincent and come back to the meeting.
Wardren?
Yeah, what is it?
There was a report that a goat herder came into town and found me and said that he saw...
Yeah, I
10?
was here. Yeah.
Oh, was he in the room for that?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
goes along with Vincent.
Oh, got it. Yes, what do you think of it?
Vordrin shrugs. Yeah, Vincent knows his stuff. Makes sense to me. If you ask me, though, it's probably a trap. Like Vincent said, there's no way that a goat herder would have gone unnoticed by a pack of 10 wargs and riders.
A trap, yes, but you believe that he saw them.
I think he saw something. Maybe you should have this goat hoarder talk to Vincent or something. He can do his magic-y thingies on the goat herder.
Oh. Okay. Once Vordran leaves the room, I'll tell Elaine. But what if he's charmed?
Which
Because if
one?
Vincent is charmed when he does the goat herdery magic thing, he could be like, oh yeah, he could tell that it's the truth. He could be like, it's a fucking lie.
Well, Crumb, the problem with magic is that it's not for the simple people of the army like you and me, right? Sometimes you just have to realize that there is nothing you can do. So if that is what's going on, then that is what's happening, and we can only do the things we want to do. The only decision we have is, do we want to stay here, or do we want to check out that potential trap, potential nothing, ambush, whatever. But there's nothing we can do in case Vincent, like, anything happened to him.
Just keep an eye on him, okay? He's acting weird.
Crumb, I don't know if you realize I am your superior. I always keep an eye on you people.
Yes, just an even closer eye, an even more skeptical eye.
Okay, I'll put my hands on her little shoulders. Okay, I'll say, Crumb, I need you to look at me. Okay, take a deep breath. You are strong. You are a valuable asset. Okay, but I need you to keep a cool head on your shoulders. You might be right about all of those theories, but don't let them get to you, okay?
Okay.
Where's that tooth necklace you made?
Oh, I'll rummage into my bag and I'll find, because I'm making two, there were enough teeth for two, and so I'll pull out Elaine's, it's a bigger one by far, and I'll be like, here you go.
Okay, is it done? Is it finished?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll put it around my neck and I'll say, see? We got this. Okay? I need you to focus.
Focused. Yes.
All right. We are going
Back to town.
We are going to check out these warg riders, because if they're going to sleep now, then now is a good time. If we want to do an ambush, then we should do it before nightfall anyways.
But they have wargs that can sniff us.
That's true.
I'm worried that if we try to sneak up on them with the wargs there, that if it was an ambush, it would be successful.
Well, I mean, we can walk into an ambush today, or we can walk into an ambush tomorrow. Orcs will always have the upper hand when it comes to ambushing. If you remember last time, when we were trying to set up an ambush, they were already ambushing us. First time we met the orcs, they were ambushing us. It's what they do, right?
Yeah.
It is our weakness. They do exploit it, but our strength will be sitting in this fortress until the end of time, and that will never give us the upper hand, unfortunately.
You're our leader, so whatever you think is best.
Well, if this is the trap, then I will bite. I don't intend to leave these people of this island by themselves in case they're getting attacked by orc riders, because if I was an orc rider, I wouldn't go for the armored fortress, right? I doubt wargs can actually climb those walls. I'd go for the village, and I'd hold people hostage, right? And I'll force people into making a really nasty decision, and I don't want to be in that place. So I'd rather walk headfirst into a trap than being put into the position of surrendering so nothing happens to the people of town. You know what I mean? If I go down, I'd rather go down fighting.
What do wargs love to eat?
Halflings.
No, I'm
And
just
goblins.
thinking. Well, wouldn't it be so wonderful if I got like a bunch of meats from the butcher, and then I doused them with poisons, and then I just tactically climbed a tree, and when the wargs started coming, I just threw a bunch of steaks down that were poisoned, and then they'd eat them.
You'd have to do it before we attack, though. I think wargs are very vicious creatures. Once they are, once they catch the scent of combat, they're going to be in combat and won't care about food anymore.
Really?
Yep, they are very
that's crazy.
vicious.
My dog in real life would fucking let me die for a cracker. So that's just so hard to believe that something can be so dedicated. Okay. I'm not sure. Would a warg be suspicious of snakes falling from the sky as their owner slept? How
Well, I
intelligent are
mean,
wargs?
You could try to poison some food around them. That is possible if you wanted to sneak into the orc camp, but it would be you alone because I am
Yeah.
not very quiet.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm offering, but you're the decision maker on the plans because I'm not sure what's tactically smart or not.
Well, I think we should move our people into the right direction, and I think if you are brave enough, then you should do some scouting.
Okay.
And bring your poison just in case.
Yeah. Well, I'll go into the town and I'll grab some foods to poison.
You can get some red meats. You can commandeer some red meats as the protectors of the area. You have rights over anything that you might need from the local population. I'm sure
Vincent and Vordran stay in their room, happy to know that the party isn't making any rash decisions.
Yeah, I would imagine that actually sausage links would be better. Because with sausage links, because imagine you get a steak, you can smother it on the outside with poison, but like, you put it in a bush, it gets wiped away. A sausage link, you can kind of insert a poison into it. So,
yeah.
Just
Excellent.
thinking realistically.
Well, let's talk about poisons. You got a bunch of them, right?
Yes, I do.
What sort of poison are you gonna? It's got to be an ingested poison, yeah.
Yeah, let me see. It's a narcotic. Narcotic bee milkweed.
Excellent. Okay. Now these things are unlikely to kill someone unless they eat a lot of it, right? Unless they take a whole bunch of doses. Now, a human or a halfling, an intelligent creature like yourself, you know what a sausage is supposed to taste like. And if there's a lot of something that's not in it, you're going to recognize that taste is different pretty easily. A warg, on the other hand, it might not care. It might be like, hey, there's this delicious sausage with a weird bitter flavor in it. I'm just gonna eat the delicious sausage. I don't care, right? You could probably put multiple doses in each sausage if you're feeding it to a dumb creature like a warg.
Yeah, I only need it to. Well, how many doses would it take to be for a warg?
A warg is a medium-sized creature. So it'll just take one dose per person, per warg. And they'll make the same saving throw that anyone else would, a d20 plus their constitution. If they roll a 5 or less, they die. That's real hard. If you gave them 4 times the dose, then they would need to pass a DC 15 check, which would still be pretty easy. If you gave them 8 times the dose, they'd need to pass a DC 20 check, which starts to get like in the 50-50 chance of them dying. Because milkweed it's usually something that you use to help people sleep, right? It's your standard sleeping aid narcotic, but if you take too much of it, it can absolutely fucking kill you. So you could get a couple of these sausage links, dump all of your remaining milkweed into them, and toss them.
I just need enough to put him to sleep. So.
Oh, you're not trying to kill him. You're just trying to put him to sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, you've got roughly a 50% chance of knocking him out with 1 dose. You give him 2 doses, and you've got a better than 50% chance of knocking him out. You give him 4 doses, and you've got like a 75-80% chance of knocking them out. Actually, closer to like 85% chance, yeah.
I will explain to Elaine my mathematics here. How many doses do you think I should give him?
Well, you want to put that into sausages?
Yes.
I'm not sure how many more poisons we're going to need here, Crum. I think you should just take and use whatever is necessary.
Do I have enough to do like 3 doses in each sausage, leave a couple around, have a little extra? Or am I going to do all of it?
So you, under the assumption that there are 10 wargs, you can either poison a few sausages very strongly, so that the ones who eat those sausages are going to be, assuming you can get them to eat them, are very likely to be affected, or you could poison all of them at a moderate amount and give everybody a slight chance to, or a decent chance to be put to sleep by this. So the question is, are you trying to, do you want to take small risks with a small chance of, or with a high chance of like a moderate success? Or do you want to take like bigger risks and poison the whole lot and hope that you roll lucky? How much faith do you have in your dice?
You said 50%, right?
Yeah.
With 1 dose?
I'm ballparking. 50%, 1 dose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just get
Can I
all of
put
them.
2 doses into each sausage? Do I have enough for 2 doses for each sausage? Each sausage link?
So... let's say you think they're 10 wargs. You grab 10 sausages. You could put 2 doses in each one. That would be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm gonna do that.
And then, but you and Elaine are going to ride on horseback out to the wargs, throw the sausages to them, and run away? You take in all of your people on foot? What's the plan?
I think, for me, I'm not sure how we're getting there. I don't know what the backup plan is, but what I'm imagining for me is that at a certain point, I'm gonna go rogue.
Yeah, that part
leave
makes
a sausage.
sense. But I want to...
The question is, how many
sausage.
people do we go there with? Are you going all by yourself?
Yeah, that's the question. Is this a Crumb solo mission? Because that's a long way to go for one halfling by yourself. Or is this a Crumb and Elaine ride out, do this thing, and then come back? Or is this a full deploy? What? These are questions for the Big Easy. That's
Yeah.
Elaine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends if Crumb actually would go. She's been a little bit hesitant going somewhere entirely by herself. So if Crumb isn't, like, you know, on the I'm going to assassinate these people by myself, then I'm fine taking more people.
Well, here's the thing. Let's say sausages go smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Lay them out. The wargs eat them. They fall asleep. They're out.
How long are they out for?
Do we? That's a good question. For duration 6 hours. So if they're asleep or drowsy, how long would that be? 6 hours? 1D what?
So yeah, if they eat these things and they fail their saving throws, they will be knocked out for 6 hours, and just asleep for 6 hours.
Got it.
Or if they fail really, really badly, they die. But this is a temporary thing. It's not going to put them out of capacity for a day or two. This is the sort of thing you'd take to help yourself go to sleep at night, and then you'd wake up in the morning.
So if we did go and this did work, then it would be like okay, now we have to go in and kind of clean it up.
Right.
So we could also choose not to do this plan if we didn't want to fall for a trap and just have me scout it to see if they're really there, but I'm not sure how that would help unless we're doing something about it.
That still doesn't tell us how many people. So you want more people because you need people to fight and execute the people in case they fall asleep. That's what you're saying.
Me?
Yes.
If I'm going to poison the wargs, if we decide that is what is smart, then we probably should have more people so that we can kill the wargs. There's no point of poisoning them, putting them to sleep if they're just going to wake up and we've wasted the poison. However, if we bring all of our troops out to kill these wargs and orcs, and it is a trap, and like somehow there's another force that's going into town while there's nobody there, etc., we're opening ourselves up to getting fucked over. It depends on what we want this to be. Do we want to go and assassinate the if it is real, assassinate them, or are we going just to like check if they're really there?
Well, I mean, if you are stealthing up to them and there's nobody there, then you can't assassinate them, right? It both goes together.
Yes, but if it's just an intelligence run, then we don't have to have anyone, and I don't have to poison anyone. If it's a run where, like, if they are really there, we're going to try to kill them, then we need to bring more people.
Okay, well, we'll do the following. We'll pull everybody into town, and you can go on the intelligence run, and you don't have to poison anything. How about that?
Okay, so you want to do an intelligence run?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So we're gonna send Crumb out to scout these things and come back on foot.
Do you need people with you?
We probably should have at least one that's like told, if they hear me scream, go tell other people that I died.
Well, you're probably gonna need that goat herder to know the spot, right? 7 miles that way is a pretty generic description.
Oh yeah, that's great. Surely the goat herder is a goat herder and not going to try and eat me.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably someone else with me, just so that if the goat herder's crazy,
Okay.
that I'm not gonna get killed.
I'm going to try and find Vincent.
Yeah.
No, not Vincent. I'm
Really easy to
scared
do.
of Vincent.
I'm in my room.
All right, I'll knock on the door. I'll say, Vincent, are you here?
Come in, make sure to... Oh, hold on. Vordrin, go get that flower. There's a little bit of scuffling, and then door opens for you.
Like, all right. Vincent, do you have any spells prepared for today?
Oh, of course.
What do you have?
The usual. I got the enlarge, strength, sleep, hypnotic pattern. Since we're lounging around town, I took 2 of the more personable spells.
Invis?
So you don't have any invisibility for today?
No, why would we need it?
Oh, I don't know. Last time we needed it and it wasn't prepared. I'm not blaming you for it, but it just comes up sometimes. All right. Oh, thank you. I'll close the door.
That was a strange. I call it to late. That was a strange question. Are you sure you don't need anything?
Elaine, let's say that I get there, and there are wargs and orcs. How does that information change what we're going to do? Does it matter? Should we just leave them be? If they're there or not there, us knowing the information.
Krob,
Yeah.
listen. There's no way we are going to be safe about anything. Every single decision we make can fail. Okay?
Yes.
We're not informed enough to make a good decision, so sometimes you just have to choose one and go with it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to make a decision, my decision is to trust into my people, okay? To trust into the things I know and trust the only things I can judge, because everything that is out of my scope, I cannot take into account, okay? I could walk out of this fort, there's Geraldine standing there, fireballing me the second I take a step out there, okay? That's the risk we're living with. So, what's happening is all of us, I'll point at the door, are going to town, okay?
Oh, wow.
And you are going to take the goat herder, and I'm going to give you 2 bowmen, all right? And you figure this out from a safe distance, and you come back to town and tell us, okay? And if anything goes down, then it's going to go down in town.
Okay. But let's say that we get there, and there's no one. The goat herder was just seeing things. How do we proceed? We just continue healing, waiting for the attack?
We'll proceed then when we know what's going on. We'll make our new decision based on the information we have then.
If it's a trap and we're sending 3 people out, it could cost us those 3 people. I just want to make sure that if people are going and risking their lives, that it's going to make a difference. Like, if we get there and there are orcs, are we going to surround them and kill them?
No, because you're going to be 4 people and they're going to be 10 orcs with wargs. Krob, you're not going to kill
sure.
20 people by yourself.
I'm saying going back, like we'll go back to the town, tell people, and then we're going to try and kill them before they come and attack the town.
We'll figure it out.
Oh,
Krob, your
Krob
job
wants-
is doing a scouting mission. I can't make any decisions right now with the information I have that goes any further than you checking out that spot. Okay?
Krob is not satisfied with that explanation, but she's going to do whatever Elaine instructs her to. She wants to know that that we're not just throwing people at things to make decisions just because we she wants to know why we're doing this, because if it makes no difference.
Get more information. If you get different information, if I tell you we're going there to ambush and kill them, if you find them and you get there and find some information that contradicts this, then we're just wasting time arguing here because we don't even know what's going to happen, right?
No, Krob is gonna do it.
If you find out they're actually 4 warg riders, we're just going there and we're killing them. Right? If they are 10 and 10, and you tell me, oh, and one of them, by the way, is Geraldine, then we'll have to think about if we're going
That's
or
true.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Crumb, 2 bowmen, and the goat herder. And these are generic bowmen, right? This isn't Willa and a bowman. Excellent.
By the
Right.
way, Vincent got asked a really strange question. So Vincent tells Fordrin, could you go out and follow Elaine and see what she's up to?
I'll be back in front of your door anyways, and I'm going to. I guess I'm right there as Wardren opens the door.
Oh. Yeah,
Hello.
Fordrin backs up. Elaine. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm going to stick my head into the room and I say, Vincent, Pram is going out on a scouting mission just to figure out what's going on. We're going to town. Are you coming with?
Sure. Didn't have anything to do with those wargs, did it?
Well, we're just checking. Better safe than sorry, right? We're not going to attack anything. We're just having a look.
Wait, why are you sending our one party member alone into a bunch of wargs if there are wargs there?
Well, she's the sneakiest of all of us.
Sounds like if she's caught, she'd just be eaten alive by wargs.
True, but you also the one who said if there were any wargs there, then they would have sniffed out the goat herder, so, which one is it?
I mean, there probably aren't any, but that's why I suggested doing nothing. I could just talk to that goat hoarder. I could probably stir his memory.
We should
Well,
probably
if you
do
wanted
that.
to.
Sure. I didn't realize you were that concerned. I was just ready to call it a day.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, bring me this goat herder.
Yeah, you can
Do you want to
find.
go to town? Or do you want me to bring him to you?
I don't think we need to make any rash decisions yet. Let's just talk to this goat herder.
You can go to town. You can find Brandon, the goat herder. He's over at Murky's Tavern, telling the story about all the wargs that he saw to all the other people there. Everyone's listening. He's describing the hair on these creatures, the smell coming off of them.
Yeah, as we get in, I imagine he's telling the tale, and I'll approach him and say, I guess he's known as Brandon. We've met him before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Brandon.
the goat herder.
Brandon, I don't
Oh.
think you should be stirring up these tales. Can you come with us for a moment? We want to talk to you more about this.
Yeah, and he'll step out into the city streets in the afternoon.
Yeah, we got somewhere where we can talk alone. I look around.
Yeah. What about my house? And he'll take you to his little shack on the north side of town.
Sounds good. I'll go with the rest of the crew too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
The party can arrive, and he's so pleased to have Commander Elaine Pentelin here in his little hovel. He goes around. He has you wait outside for a moment while he tidies up first. And then you can enter in onto the dirt floor with the little table. His dog's out back. He starts a little fire, puts a big old kettle over it, slow, gets it ready to boil. He's
Nice.
a young guy.
Brandon, could you sit down? I need you to recall everything you can about this. I'll cast a spell to help you remember. I need you to let that spell wash over you and embrace it. Then you can remember and tell us everything about what you saw.
Okay. Do you want to DM me what spell you're casting on him?
No, I'll just publicly. Actually, I will
Okay.
DM you. I will DM you.
Peach, get ready. Okay, you need to sneak around him. You need to sneak around him. It's happening. Get ready. I'm telling you.
Sneak around who?
Well, take a guess.
Vincent.
Read the room. Read the room. Okay, read the room.
All right. Vincent will cast a spell. None of you are spellcasters. You have no idea what spell this is, but he casts a
don't know
spell
what it is.
upon the young man, the young Brandon, who lets the spell wash over him so he can learn everything.
Now, Brandon, please tell us everything about your day where you went up to these wargs and orcs and saw them. Tell us the truth and everything factual about what you said or what you saw.
I was walking my goats. We were leaving the hills, coming back towards town after a couple days out in the farmland and the pasture lands. When I heard a howling of a wolf, and wolves are dangerous. Wanted to know if there were any threats to my flock or the town. So we went closer to where the sounds were coming from. They were coming from the woods, the section of trees, section of oak. There's a big raspberry bush on the far side of the creek that I was crossing. So I went up the dry creek, past the bush, peered over it, and there I saw 10 wargs and 10 orcs. I didn't fully count them, but I think it was 10 of each. And I saw the wargs. They were adjusting themselves. And I saw the orcs. They were laying on the ground with their weapons and their armor all scattered akimbo. And so I left. I ran as fast as my feet would carry me. I left my goats behind and everything. And I got back here as quickly as I could.
Were any of all of the orcs and all of the wargs were all asleep, I ask?
I only saw them laying on the ground. I didn't see any standing.
I nod. Thank you for your recollection, Brandon.
Anything. I'm glad I could be of service.
I'll ask Vincent. Obviously he can lie, but just to know what he cast, I'll ask him what magic did you cast to help him remember?
Oh, I cast hypnotism on him.
How does that work?
That made him recall us. That made him follow the suggestion that I gave him. The suggestion being to truthfully recall everything that he actually saw.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Do you think there's a possibility they caught him and put a spell on him and sent him back?
Yes, I think that's exactly the case.
Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Which is why we should definitely not do the plan that we were thinking of doing.
Krob.
They clearly are anxious. They want us to change up our pattern. So we should not let them dictate what we'll do. We should simply do nothing. Go take a day's rest, Elaine.
The man said they had their weapons scattered about, yeah?
Yeah, that's nonsensical. This is clearly some sort of illusion that he saw.
Have you left the room, or is he still sitting
Oh, we've
here?
left.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be really hurtful to him.
I do tell him, please don't spread word of this. We don't want the townspeople to panic.
Well, I've been telling everyone though to listen.
Great, fantastic. Well, off we go.
Is that
there,
something you just felt like doing, or is that... I guess I'll just leave it as what made you want to tell everyone?
Well, everyone should know if there's orcs coming to town, they should get ready.
Do you have detect magic prepared?
No,
Okay.
sadly. I do have this other spell. I guess I can.
I'm not sure if it's like
think it'll be
universal,
helpful.
but detect magic and other campaigns, I don't think you have it right now that I've played. There's like, if you cast it, there's like an aura on people that are like charmed. That would have been cool.
Do I think that would work if I had detect magic?
Um.
I'll post it here.
You can be.
It'd be totally homebrew from the other person or the other campaign I've played in.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
I think it is fair to call it a magical aura.
I do think that is fair. I just want to double check the charm person spell. Yep, it has a nice long duration. Yeah, if the caster... Yep, a dispel magic will break it, so there must be a continual aura of magic around you until the spell is broken. So if you could cast detect magic on someone, you might notice that they had some sort of magic on them. You might not know... If you roll well on your dice, you might know that it's an enchantment-based spell, but you wouldn't necessarily know that it's charm person, right? It could be any enchantment-based spell. But you would be able to tell that there's a little magic aura around this person.
Right. Well, the two things we definitely shouldn't do are, one, overreact, two, send anybody into that trap.
Yeah.
I say we just relax.
I don't know about relax, but I don't think it's smart to send someone out there yet. But it is Elaine's call.
Lane, it's all your decision. Everyone's lives are resting in your hands. This is the responsibility you've always wanted in life.
Yep, that is what I wanted, more work. We're going to check out the trap.
Who's we?
Me and my people.
You're the whole army. You're leaving the town
Well-
undefended.
I think so, yes.
You're taking Vordrin and Vincent?
Yeah. I mean, them especially. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think so.
All right. So it's the 16
I talked to,
NPCs.
I bring Crumb off to the side here. I'll have a private conversation with her. Hey, do you think that Elaine might have gotten charmed? This is an incredibly bad decision and uncharacteristic of her.
I don't know if she's charmed or if you're charmed. You're both
How
acting
could I possibly
really
be
weird.
Think about this, Crumb. There's no way that 10 orcs and 10 orcs would let a goat hoarder walk away like that. This is clearly a trap. I think Elaine even just told us she's going to send us to investigate the trap. This is ridiculous. We should dig our feet in and say no to this.
I'm insubordination. She is our leader. If she directs us to our deaths, that is what we do.
No, we do not just walk to our deaths.
No, we don't walk to it. We fight, but we don't just say no and walk away.
That's exactly what we do. You know, it's probably because look at her, she's so wounded. I don't think she's in the best of mind right now. How about this? Crumb, I'll cast sleep on her, and then we just let her have a good night's rest.
Forever. Wink wonk.
All right.
I'm-
One sec.
oh.
One sec. I'll get her to look the other way. One sec. And I'm gonna go up to Elaine, and I'm gonna whisper in her ear. I'm gonna say, "He wants to cast sleep on you. Don't freak out." And I'm gonna be like, "Freak."
I'll look at Crumb. I'll say, Crumb, you have to trust me. We need to go.
I do trust you, but he wants to cast sleep on you right now. How are we going to have a rogue caster? He could just cast sleep on you in the middle of battle. Sorry, couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I said quietly under my breath, you know what? I fucking hate magic. That's what I said. So here you go. Crumb,
Yeah.
listen to me, okay? If that happens, you kill him. Look at me. If that happens, you kill him. Promise me.
Absolutely, but here's the thing.
No, here's
What?
the thing. Vincent has always been loyal, okay? He has had many opinions, but if anything, he's been loyal, all right? That's the one trait I know of him. He's not afraid to speak his mind, okay?
He
He's a
just
good
said
person.
that we should
He would
leave
never.
you.
He would
That
never
we
do
should
it to me.
leave you
Well, what
and
does that
cast
tell you then?
sleep on you. It's not him, and we need to tie him up and put a sock in his mouth. That's what it tells me. Why would we? But we know something's wrong with him. We know something's wrong with him.
Well, then we should bring him along.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm on his side for your sake, because I need to know what the fuck he's in on. And I'm gonna, once I'm done chatting with Lynn or whatever, I'm gonna go to Vincent and I'm gonna say, it's not smart to cast sleep on her here. She's very large. Too many people around, etc. I think that we need to go along with the plan for now and just be cautious, you know?
You're right. There are a lot of people around. We can do it while we're on the way to the fort so that just fewer people around. And then we'll cast sleep. The three of us should be able to carry her to bed. Sound good?
Yeah, let's just think about it on the way. And Vorgin would be okay with this?
Yeah. I'm sure Vordrin knows even past me how bad of an idea this is. This
What is happening right now? Is he charmed, or are we just at a very strong Kahoot battle?
Crumb, you see just like I do, right? This is clearly a trap.
I'm just surprised that you're willing to put your leader to sleep.
Well, this detect magic idea is a good idea. I think I'll definitely need to get it prepared so that we see if she's under some sort of enchantment.
I don't think that she is.
Well, for our sake, she better be.
Well, it sounds like everyone is packing up the things and going to the fort to gather the rest of the soldiers there, maybe gathering whoever was on patrol in town in the afternoon to bring them out.
Yep.
I think the first thing we do is go towards the fort, at which point I'll kind of
just
nod
the
at
four
Crumb.
of you heading to the fort,
Yeah.
right? You're not okay.
Is this
Well,
the time, Crumb?
Well, hold on.
Are we
Elaine,
we're bringing the other people that were stationed in town with us back to the fort, and we're moving all together, right?
you're gonna grab the
All right.
4 that were patrolling
Yeah, because
town?
I need supplies and shit just in case. I want to
Yeah.
have at least like I want to say 4 rations on each person, if that's possible.
Sure. All right, you can grab the 4 people from town, and the 8 of you will head back to the fort together.
I sigh. Now there's too many people around, Crumb. I guess I'll have to do this the talkie way.
The
I'll
what?
bring it.
You have to do it the talkie way?
Yeah, I'll have to use my words instead of just the spell. I
What do
try
you
to take
mean?
Elaine off to the side.
No, wait, before you do that,
What?
I think it is far past the time that we get rid of Elaine. If she wakes up, then she is going to be so mad at you. We need to eliminate her from the situation.
Oh boy.
Do you agree? We need her
What?
gone.
What?
Do you agree, Vincent? We need her gone. We can't go into this, but if you put her to sleep and she wakes up,
That's a little extreme, don't you think, Crumb?
you don't agree?
No.
Okay. Just checking. Okay. Now you're not like, listen, there's a story in the fucking Bible. I'm not religious, but it's about who owns this goddamn baby. And they ask one woman, 2 people are trying to say, that's my baby, that's my baby. And they ask one woman, and one woman's like, listen, what we're gonna do, or what the law wants to do is to cut the baby in half and give you both 1/2. And one woman's like, yeah, I'll take the half of the baby. And then the other woman's like, just give it to her then. Like, that's my baby. Give her the baby. And the way that you could tell is by the woman who wanted half the baby is clearly not the fucking mother. So what I'm trying to do here is get Vincent to tell me, like, if he's charmed and the whole idea is to take Elaine out of the equation, I want to be the one to offer to him, hey, let's fucking kill Elaine. So if he's like, actually, that sounds palatable. That there's like a, you know, I can tell. I don't want to kill Elaine. I'm trying to tell.
You're
Yeah,
not
and
the
I never
charmed
wanted-
person. You're just baiting Trump into revealing his
Yes.
evilness. Right. Which makes you the most trustworthy person in the party now.
Yes, well, I'm gonna go to Elaine after, and I'm gonna say, okay, Elaine, he might not be charmed, because when he was trying to convince me to get you to go to sleep, and he was planning it out, and he was all like, oh, we should abandon Elaine and not do this, put her to sleep, etc. But then I offered that we should probably kill you, and he said no, which is good. It's a good sign.
Yeah, well, I'm just more valuable alive as a hostage.
Fuck. Didn't think of that. I'm not supposed to be the one that fucking thinks I'm scout.
You
I'm
need to
rogue.
You need to be the one, okay, who has their eyes on this situation. Okay, I can't handle this.
Okay.
I'll make the commands. I'll tell us where to go. If you want to keep an eye on him, you keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm gonna go to Vincent afterwards and say I don't want to put her to sleep. We're going. If she says we're going, we're going.
We're going, huh? Well, all right. Do we have any? Do we have 2 horses that Fortune and I could ride?
I think you've taken 1 horse from Lord Campbell. You can go get more horses if you want.
No. Him and I are on the same horse.
Who? You and Vincent? You wanna?
Yes.
You wanna ride with Vincent?
Oh yeah.
Sure. All right. So
I'm behind
we'll
him.
grab 2 horses for myself and Crumb, and then Vordrin will take 1.
Mhm.
I'll have a private conversation with Vordrin as well.
Excellent. Okay. Well, by now, we've planned this out for about an hour, plus some time going back and forth between town and finding people around town. By the time you get back to the fort, you can gather the folks, get them their stuff, And you brought the goat herder with you because he's going to be your guide?
Yep.
Okay. And so we can gather our stuff and set out. Now, it was already afternoon when the goat herder got here. So it'll be late afternoon, bordering on evening by the time we get there, because we did take plenty of time to work out the details and discuss it. So we're going to take our break. And when we come back from our break, we're going to see who the traitor is, if there is one. And we're going to go find these wargs, if there are any. And we'll see what happens. So catch you on the other side of our break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of Drekis.
Quick question right off the bat. From my studies of the spell Phantasmal Force, do I think that could create the illusion of multiple entities, or is that just one thing?
Phantasmal Force. Just reading here. Creates an illusion. Creates any object singular, creature singular, or force singular. And if the illusion is struck by an opponent, it fails, unless you cause it to react appropriately, or if the wizard ceases concentration upon it. But the area is 400 square feet plus 10 square feet per level. 400 square feet is a 20 by 20 box. And you're level 5? Is it 4? 4? So it would be 800 square feet, which is 4 20 by 20 boxes. Which is a, 40 by 40 box. No, that's not right. It is. It's not, but that's 1600. 30 by 30 box? It's 2 20 by 20 boxes. That's what it is. Almost a 30 by 30. I think it's one creature or one object. So you could make like a big object or one creature or one large creature.
Okay.
If you wanted. But it does take your focusing on it to make it move and do stuff. Tui doesn't have concentration as a concept, really. It has it a little bit, but this would be a spell that you would cast and then be moving and manipulating and focusing on for it to do stuff.
Okay.
Mr. Neal.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that this situation, this is D&D, and this is relying too heavily on my own intelligence to figure out. And you know what I should be doing? Rolling some fucking dice. Where were my insight checks? I have several that I feel I am owed. That if I roll well, I deserve at least some answers. Why am I relying on my intelligence? I'm stupid. Why would I know? I deserve my D&D rolls. I'm indebted.
Well, you should have made some rolls then, but here we are. We're not just gonna discard the last hour and say like we'd never had that
That's
conversation.
true.
Said we made a roll. Like the last hour happened. You can't unwrite history.
That's fine. Let's say, okay, I go back to Vincent and I'm like, you got another plan too, huh?
What was that? I have another. What'd you just
No.
say?
What?
I feel like we're walking into an ambush.
We might be.
We're doing
I'm telling
exactly
you.
what the orcs want us to do.
Telling you, Elena's gotta go. I'm telling you.
I think that's a bit extreme for one bad call.
It's not one bad call.
You're right.
She's
She
gonna-
did turn me down on that fort idea too, but that one was reasonable.
It's all these bad calls. Listen, I'm telling you.
filthy liar.
The one
Putting
where
her-
we were going to sleep at the Orcs fort. So that wasn't a lie.
You won't tell her that I kind of am fine with her being dead, right?
Of course not.
Thanks. Okay, have I earned a roll yet?
No.
I think an hour worth of like
You.
talking and scheming with Vincent earns a roll.
Well, I
Come
mean,
on.
yeah, but there's no new information here. You had all your meaningful conversations. You interpreted all the things that you wanted to interpret. You're just going fishing and, trying to retread ground as an excuse to get a roll.
Yes,
It's
because
transparent.
I'm not the DM. You're
We've just
supposed
spent
to
an
say,
hour
"Well,
building all of this
bro."
beautiful tension, and you want to throw it away?
Yes.
No.
I don't want to throw
we're
it away,
in.
but I want like a crumb. Like, I want a crumb.
You already have the biggest crumb of all.
All of you that are in on this mafia scheme don't know what's happening. I've never played mafia, not really, except at like summer camp, and I don't even remember how that's played. I'm not so clever in this.
Look, I'm just going to press this button. It means nothing.
Excellent. I love meaningless buttons. They're great. They're fantastic. So, the party's gathered at the fort. It's evening. We're bringing together weapons and armor. There's a pair of horses. Vincent and Krob are mounting one of them. Vordrin's getting on another. Everyone else has their gear put together. The goat herder, Brandon, is nearby. And he's going to lead you to where he saw these guys. And maybe, if he's lucky, he'll pick up some of his goats along the way. Maybe. And off
All
the
right.
party goes.
Yeah, as we go, I kind of recount. Doesn't this take you back to first adventures where you helped a goat herder recover all his old goats?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, tough crowd.
tough.
Well, you have to imagine I'm on your horse and I'm like riding on the horse with you, but I think that you are trying to kill. I think that you're charmed or something's wrong with
Oh
you.
man.
So I'm trying to act normal.
Okay, so
It's worth
can we-
noting, because there's so much tension going on here. Is Krob in front of Vincent on the horse or behind
Back.
Vincent on the horse?
Behind,
Okay.
of course.
Okay. Just wanted to know.
Okay. So once we're about, I don't know what the distances are, about several hundred feet away from the fort, somewhere between fort and town, I'll call for a stop and for everybody to get off the horses.
The army comes to a stop. I assume the three of you dismount your horses. Excuse me.
Look around at any reason why she might have called for us to stop here in particular.
Just an order from a commanding officer to stop.
Odd. All right, I'll get off.
Okay. 1 second. All right. I am going to face Vincent. I Warden and you both off your horse.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to face Vincent.
Krob, are you off?
Oh, I'm behind wherever you are. Listen, you can call me your shadow. I am never in front, always behind, watching, maybe at most a foot behind.
I'll take my sword out and I'll point it at Vincent. And I'll say, Vincent, I need you to hand over those 2 scrolls that you got.
I look shocked, but I will say, I'll ask, why is that, Elaine?
Because I don't think you're deserving of them.
I think that if we were to walk into something dangerous, we'd certainly want that web scroll to be used at least. That could let us escape.
I want those 2 scrolls. Now.
I look very reluctant as I reach into my scroll pouch here, take them out.
You'll notice as you reach into your scroll pouch that Willa already has an arrow in one hand and puts it to the bowstring as you reach into your pouch.
Willa, I'm just getting out the scrolls to hand them over. Don't shoot.
Yeah. It's not up, it's just down at her side, but there is a tension in the air.
Oh, so I hand them over to Elaine.
Okay, I'll take him over. And I'll look at Vordren and I will say, okay, Vordren, you have to make a choice here.
What's that? Vordren asks you.
I'll say, your master has clearly been influenced. I don't know if it was the poison. I don't know if it was magic, but that's not Winston we're talking about here. In the short time I've got to know him, I'm very sure that this is not Vincent. You know him better than me. So, I assume that you would be the first to know, which makes me think either you're in on this, or you had your apprehension, but you didn't dare speaking up because he's your master.
Vordren's been keeping something bottled up, and after hearing you address that, he's gonna raise his voice and say, have you gone off of your rocker? I wasn't going to say this in front of all the soldiers, but now that you confront me like this, you're leading us into an ambush. What are you doing?
I'll nod and I'll say, all right, I guess that means he's in on it.
You can see the soldiers begin to back up and create some space. No one wanting to get too close to the situation, and knuckles are tensing on weapons.
Vordren glances at Brandon and says, "Look at this goat herder. You think he can walk right up to 10 orcs and 10 wargs and just make it out unscathed?"
No, because that was the only point of, actual sense you made. You keep changing your arguments the entire time. I feel like the old Vincent would have at least tried to figure out what's going on. Or the old Vincent would have at least sent somebody into town to figure this one out and scout around a little bit. But you just want to huddle down and sit here and do absolutely nothing. And knowing the danger we're facing, you are way too relaxed for what's coming next.
Vincent's going to just...
So, there's two options. Either this is truly you, okay, and then you're not fit for this mission anymore. Or you're an imposter, and then you're not fit for this mission anymore, Vincent. I don't know how to bring this to you, but your mission ends here, right now.
I am making full eye contact with Elaine, and all it would take is a...
I need you and Vordren to put down your weapons and to surrender.
Willa and the other archers have bows raised, arrows knocked. The spearmen are standing nearby.
You're making a terrible decision here, Elaine. Vincent says as he reaches for his spellbook, puts it on the ground here, and Vincent nods at Vordren. Yeah, you can drop your weapons. But what we talked about earlier he gives a nod.
Vordren will drop his sword to the ground.
Okay, we're going to tie up the two of them.
And
put them on
sock in his mouth. Spellcaster? Not speaking. Fuck no.
What if you want to put a sock in? I don't have a spare sock with me.
Crumb peels off the socks off of her feet, and it's not one, it's both. They're crammed. If there's rope she can put to secure it in place, that's there too.
As you reach to stuff your sock in, Crumb, you're making a terrible
Yeah.
Crumb.
Yeah. No.
Okay. And we'll put them up. I guess one can. We don't all ride, anyways, right?
No, everyone's on foot. There's not enough horses for everybody
Yeah.
to
So
be riding.
I guess you lost horse privilege. Life's rough.
How would that work though?
Well, we're now a few
Well, you
hundred
could just
feet
put somebody else there
out
if we
from
had
the.
to.
We're a few hundred feet or so from the keep. Are you continuing on the mission and marching these people with you? Are you leaving them behind at the keep tied up, or leaving them with a guard to keep an eye on them? What's the plan?
Well, they're coming with us.
You're just gonna march them in front of you, or somewhere in
yeah.
the column.
Oh yeah, they're just coming with. I'm not leaving those people behind. Who knows? Like, if we're leaving them at the keep and Nook comes out of the bushes, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, we're bringing everybody. We're doing what we can see. We're dealing with the information we have. That's a strategy. Okay, you can judge me for it, but it's a strategy.
Okay.
It's probably fucking Nook. Slipped something into his fucking food. God damn.
The mind berries, the worst of all of them.
All right. The party continues forth. The goat herder will lead you through the grasslands, up towards the hills, the foothills at the base of the mountain, and on towards one of these extended areas of oak trees. He'll point out the large grove from a good distance, from a few miles away. He'll point out that's the place we're headed. Is there any point at which you would like to stop and have a discussion or plan, or should I just walk us right up to the edge of the woods?
Fuck no. I'm going to say I need to go ahead and scout. And if you hear me, what do you want the signal to be? If I come back, if I come back, it's safe. If I whistle, then it's unsafe and I'm running towards you. If I scream, I'm dying. And leave me. Don't come for me if I scream.
I'm not going to lose 2 people in one day, Crumb.
Yes, but if I whistle, that might mean that I'm dying, but that you should come. If I scream, let me go.
Okay. Don't take any more risks than you have to.
I won't.
So this means, since, the woods are where you're headed, and before the woods is grasslands, there's 16 and 4 and 1, 16 and 5 is 21. There's like 21 of you and 2 horses that are going to hang out in the grasslands while Crumb goes up to the woods by herself.
So we're in grasslands.
Yeah, if we look at the map, and we're gonna zoom in a little bit over here. It's this. I'm on the wrong page. It is this, wooded area over here at the base of the mountains. These maps aren't 100% accurate, right? They're kind of close. But it is sort of a wooded area, and then around the wooded area is just sort of like rolling grasses that would come up to like a human's thigh, knee to hip, depending on how tall you are, right? So Crumb in the grasses is like, up to her shoulders or her chest or maybe her chin, depending on the area in particular. Everyone else is sort of wading through the...
Which means that I could also kind of stealthily separate from the group a little bit.
You could hide pretty well in the grasses, yeah.
Okay. Cool. What cover is that, like 3/4?
If you're just walking, like normal, 3/4 cover. Yeah. If you are sneaking, you'd be like actually ducked underneath the grasses. You wouldn't actually be able to see where you're going at that point. You'd have to poke your head up every now and then. Yeah. So we would just say you have full cover, full concealment. Cover is
full concealment.
Hard, concealment is soft.
Okay. I'm going to go forward, if he pointed where he said that they were, I'm going to like take a long bend around.
How far behind are you leaving the party?
Real quick, as I see you break off, I'm going to muffled yell at you.
Yeah.
How far behind do you want to leave the party, Crumb?
I don't want to leave the party very far behind, but wherever they are, I can't go much further.
Well, the whole point of scouting is that you get ahead of them, right? It's not
Yeah.
a useful scout if the party is real close to you.
I guess so. How far are they?
Well, I'm saying that we're approaching these trees. The goat herder says that they're within the group of trees. He saw them, a couple hundred yards within the group of trees. So do you want...
100 yards.
Yard is about a meter. Same.
100 meters. That's quite far.
So you could, leave the party in the grasslands a ways back. You could get the party all the way up to the woods and then sneak in. I don't know what you want to do, but at some point you're going to leave them behind, and I want to know how far
That's up to
behind
Elaine.
they are.
That's really up to Elaine, how far she wants me to go forward.
Elaine?
I think you could do it entirely by yourself.
Is someone holding me, or could I book it?
And you can try. Well, we tied you up, right?
I think that there would be a guard on you.
It's probably someone standing nearby.
Yeah, you'd have to walk. So your legs aren't tied because we needed you to move.
I walk towards Crumb.
Well, can I try to yank him back?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Okay, I'll try yanking him back.
Oh!
Okay. I'm gonna try and go the whole way by myself then.
So we're leaving the party out in the grasslands a good ways.
Yes. They know. If I come back, it's safe. If I whistle, it's not. And if I scream, run.
Okay. All right, Crumb. You wade through the grasses, keeping your head low, popping up every now and then to make sure you're headed in the right direction. You get to the area where the shade of these oak trees thins out the grasses. Different sort of grass takes over, shorter. It only comes up to your hips, maybe a human's shin somewhere. Maybe a human's knee. It's definitely the late afternoon by now. The sun sets over the west, which is in front of you, like beyond you and through the forest is where the sun would set. But there's enough trees here and enough stuff that you're not like blinded by the sunlight, but you are like looking in towards silhouetted shadows all over the place. I think it's important now that you make me a series. Where is it? I'm going to need some checks from you.
Sure.
And I want you to make the check
Yeah.
at the moment that the check needs to be realized, right? I don't want to say like, make me a move silently check and then have you fail it miserably and then you failed it, so you change your course of action. You always think when you make a thief check that you are going to
For
succeed.
sure.
You always believe you're moving silently and that you're hiding in shadows.
Yeah.
So when is the most important? When is the appropriate place to make this? Yeah. You get to the edge of the grasses, you peer through the forest. The goat herder said it was down, there's like a little creek somewhere, and it's on the other side of the creek, beyond the raspberry bushes there, that he saw these orcs. And sure enough, as you gaze into the shrouded forest, you can see that there is a dip, maybe 50 yards in, where a little creek would go. Usually dry at this time of year, but a little creek bedded nonetheless. You can creep up to that, keeping low to the ground, doing your best to hide. Down one side and up the other side, And to the raspberry bushes is where we're going. And so I would like you to make me... the most important check here is to make a hide in shadows check. Critical failure.
Wow.
But you know what? It's not just visibility, because maybe no one's looking. It's also audibility. You know, maybe one of these is important, maybe the other's important. Hide in shadows, if everyone's asleep, it doesn't matter if you're hiding in shadows or not, but it does matter if you're sneaking or not. So give me a move silently check. Also a massive failure.
Wow.
That's real bad luck, Krob. That's real
At
bad luck.
192.
You know? We'll never.
Wow.
We should have never sent you to any ambush. It's always like you found the ambush because they ambushed you first every time. You'll be fine. Just start running.
Yeah. So as Krob, as you're going down the ravine, it's at that moment that a whole series of javelins are going to be thrown at you. I need you one last roll. Important roll here because this is determining your surprise factor or not. And you don't want to be surprised. On this roll, you want to roll high. We need you to roll a 1d10. And by the gods, you want to roll above a 3. You really want to roll above a 3 on this one. It's a 5. Okay. Thank the gods. Because as you're coming down this ravine, this little creek, to begin going up the other side is when the grunt, the guttural sound comes, and leaping up from crouched positions behind this raspberry bush, or 10 orcs with javelins. But you're not surprised. You're creeping up on these people. You're ready for this shit. You may not be expecting it in the moment, but you're not mechanically surprised. And so we're just going to get 10 javelin attacks on Krob.
But do I get to simultaneously make my move initiative?
No, they're definitely getting an ambush on you, but they're not getting bonuses for you being surprised. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, if you had failed this roll, you would just, there are no dex benefits, and they get a bonus to hit and everything. Instead, this is just, launching attacks all at once. And I think due to the situational changes here, they're going to get an additional small bonus to hit. But we're going to do 1, 2, what's your AC, Krob? 15? So they need a 15 or better to hit you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Should they get a bonus, or don't they have a penalty because she has the high ground, Neal?
No, she has the low ground. She's going.
Didn't you say she's going down?
A ravine.
And they're shooting from where?
They're on the other side of the ravine, above her, throwing down at her.
Mm.
You don't actually get a high ground for ranged attacks, but I'm giving them a slight bonus for like popping out of the bushes all of a sudden. They weren't like standing at a distance. They're mostly behind cover, and she's only catching them at the last moment. They only got a bonus of 1 to hit. So 15 hits, a natural 18 will crit. So 1 crit, 1 hit, 2 hit, 2 crit, 3 crit, 3 crits, and 2 hits. Which is 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8 d6 for damage as a series of javelins impale little Krob's body. It is surprisingly low damage. 23 points of damage. As Krob is peppered with pain.
Yeah, I'm assuming that would fucking hurt.
Yeah.
I thought it would fucking kill, so hurting is good. I thought you'd be dead.
Average damage there would have been 28 damage. So you got
23.
out. Okay.
What's 23? No,
you can just do minus
20.
23 and it'll do the math for you. When you click on your little blue circle.
My little token?
Yeah.
One sec, I wasn't even looking at myself. I was
just look at your little
zoomed
token.
in onto Outpost Santa Barbara.
Little token, little blue line. You circle
Okay.
minus 23. It'll math for you. Bam! Look at that.
All right.
And this Crumb is where we roll initiative. This is where, as the javelins land in you, you get to decide what you want to do. This is the most dire moment of your life.
Fucking running. That's not even very good.
You're gonna fucking run? You're just gonna...
Wow, 1d10. I got a 9.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
I would like to say that if did I have any time to whistle or scream?
Totally, yes. But if you go first, you know, you can whistle, you can scream, you can act on your turn. It'll be great.
Got it.
There are 4 orcs who go before you, Crumb, and then a whole bunch that go at the same time as you. No more bonuses for these little bastards.
What happens if someone goes at the same time as you?
Everything resolves simultaneously in the most awkward of situations, but most beautiful. So 1 is a miss, 2 is a miss, 3 is a miss, 4 is a miss. The 4 that went before you, they grabbed their set because they carry 2 javelins. The first one they threw on the first round. The second one they're grabbing now. They're hurling them at you. They all miss. They scatter to your left. They scatter to your right as you turn, begin to run up that hill. Now you can start whistling. You can start whistling as loud as you want.
Oh yeah, I'm whistling.
1, 2, 3. There are 4 more
However you
going
do
on
it.
your turn. What are you doing?
I'm still running, right? Like, I can't really do much else. I can dodge,
you're just
run.
run.
Yeah.
Okay, you begin to bolt. These guys will throw.
As I'm getting up the hill, the grass is getting thicker and taller.
Well, you got to
As
go another
everything's
50
happening.
meters to get to the tall grass again, because the ravine was inside the woods. So here's another 4 javelins at Crumb's back, which means they have back attack bonuses against you, poor little Crumb. It's terrible. It's real terrible.
What
1,
about range
2,
though, right?
3,
If she
4.
moves, does
Yeah.
it change the range? How? Because
The
javelins are not like
ones-
longbows, right?
Right. The ones that go after her are definitely going to be at medium or long range, or they might actually be out of range. I have to do the math on it. But the ones that go at the exact same time as her are getting their attacks off as she's beginning to run.
All right.
But those
the
are all fails, right? Because they're
Except
not...
for the 13 plus 1 is 14, and if you don't have
Mine
your
is
dexterity,
15, isn't it?
yeah, but they have a +2 to hit you from behind, and you don't get your
Oh.
dexterity when your back is turned to someone, which is a bonus of 2. So they only need an 11 to hit you.
Oh.
So one of them will hit
All
you
right.
for 3, bringing you down to 5 hit points
Okay.
as you run. Now we get to the weapon
Hey,
table.
still alive.
Now I got to figure out the range of the javelins. Javelin range. Gonna throw my javelin at a range.
Well, I doubt that if Crumb gets a full move that they can still reach her with a javelin. I'd be surprised. Because they're also up on the ravine. They're not like 10 feet away from her when she starts running.
That's right. She's running, and Crumb's movement speed. Crumb can go 60 yards in a round. And
But
the
I
max
also gain
range-
cover as I
Yes. Max range of a javelin is 60 yards. And so by the time the last 2 orcs have picked up their javelins, they could run after Crumb and throw at her and be at medium range, but that's not what they're doing. The last 2 will just forego their attacks because Crumb is out of range. So Crumb, you're running. You get 60 yards. You basically get to the edge of the woods as you whistle as loudly as you can. And there's the party. You can see them with the long shadows cast. You know, you can easily see the people out there in the grasslands. And as you're running for your life in their direction, you can hear the baying of the wargs, because they don't chase after you and throw for a reason. And the reason that they're not chasing you down with javelins is because they don't want to chase you down. They want to be mounted. And that's what the orcs are doing.
Ah.
Yeah, who gives a shit about this little fucking halfling? She took a bunch of javelins. She's probably not going to make it. Let's just get on our wargs. And so the enemy is mounting up. Where
Got
is
it.
our combat? Here we go.
Well, I'm fucking whistling.
Yeah, you're whistling.
Well, Neal will let us know once I hear something, I assume.
Yeah. Well, the rest of you are sitting, waiting. Did you bring the horses?
You can skip the happy music, Neal. It's not happening.
Oh, it's not happy
Just
music.
put it away.
It's not happy.
It sounds very happy, though. Okay, I hope it gets... Just put it to the point where we're at, because I don't feel comfortable with the... Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right.
It takes a few moments to kick in, but don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm waiting.
The party, you're out in the grasslands. You're watching the woods. Now, you kicked Vordran and Vincent off of their horses. Did you bring the horses, or did you leave them behind? We didn't talk about that detail.
No, I think why would we leave them behind? I think we brought the horses.
Is anyone riding, or are you just walking horses with you?
We're taking them on a walk.
I would be... Let me think. I think I have my bow out, because we're expecting them to be there, and I wanted to get ready to have to shoot something just in case Crumb is there, right?
Okay, so you're
So
mounted
I have a question about battle on horseback, Neal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You said I can't fire a longbow from horseback anyways.
Correct.
Is that correct? Does Willa... What does she have?
Longbow.
Longbow as well, so that doesn't help us at all.
No, you have no horse archers with you.
Do we have anybody who can ride a horse and is a spearman?
Well, here's the deal, is that these are everyday riding horses. These are not war horses. If these horses get into combat and there's like danger and the smell of blood in the air and sharp claws, these horses aren't going to like follow along and fight with you. They're going to bolt and get scared and run the fuck away. These are mobility horses. These are not combat horses.
Well, I think then I would just ride one and just get off whenever that mattered. And,
Okay, and who else is
whoever else.
Okay.
I don't
great.
know who else can ride. Not Vincent
Doesn't
and not
matter.
Vordran, and I don't know who can ride, so...
Doesn't matter, but you might have been mounted upon your horse. So you can see Crumb running towards you, and you can see like the flapping of long poles coming out of her like
so I'll
sides.
I'll yell
back.
for the archers, and I'll yell to form a spear line in front of us.
Soldiers line up with spears and shields, making a nice wall. Archers are behind them. What about Vincent?
Is there a tree line here at all? Can I have like a rough terrain for this so I don't have to make it up in my mind?
Open grasslands until the tree line from which the halfling
And
has just
behind
broken
us?
free. Open grasslands for miles.
How far away is the tree line from us again?
You said all the way, which was very vague. So I interpreted that as like 200 meters. Like if someone were to burst from the tree line, you would have a full round of them running towards you to make decisions and set yourselves up, and that you couldn't get rushed accidentally. So 200 yards, 200 meters.
Okay, then I'll tell people to charge towards the tree line as quickly as they can. We'll leave
What are you gonna do
Wardren
about
and...
Vincent.
They're gonna stay behind.
Great.
Vincent turns to the guard watching him, and he's still got his mufflin, but he's going to very focusedly try to say, "Lord, me, go, help." Vordran, who has not been muffled, I think, will turn to his guard and say, "I can fight. Cut me loose. Give me my sword."
The guards ignore you. They leave you. The party, the spearmen, the archers, charges forward in the direction of Crumb, who's running towards the party whistling. Vincent and Vordran are left to their own devices. Given sufficient time, you can untangle yourselves, but it'll take a little while. You are tied up. And it's as the party is charging towards the woods that you can see the wargs breaking free in the dying light as the sun is beginning to set over the ocean. And the wargs aren't coming for you. They're not coming for the party at all. They're just going around. They're just ignoring all of you and riding at full speed towards the town.
Amazing.
which is 2.5 hours away from you on
All
foot.
right, 3 shots is what I'm hearing, though.
Yes, there's going to be
And even
a
if
round of
they
free
are
shots.
ignoring us, are they like, what kind of circle are they doing? See, and this is why I like maps, because I have no idea. You're saying they're breaking from the woods?
Yeah.
I assume, where are they breaking from?
Okay, so I'm gonna give us a little map. I'm gonna give us a little.
No,
map
that would
now.
be nice. Oh, ask about it twice. You don't need one. Just imagine everything runs away. You can't attack anything. It's just a scene with the sunset over the ocean. Faye, relax. Okay. You think I'm not gonna kill some wargs here, Neal? You're sorely mistaken.
Okay. So we got our party over here. If you look to this region as well, the black line represents the woods. In fact, the shaded in area is generally wooded tree zone. Yeah. Everything else is grasslands. And the yellow arrow that I'm drawing shows you the direction of town. Okay. So we've got our party represented by Elaine and a couple of spearmen. Crumb is coming out of this area. Vincent is in the back, somewhere like that. And you've also got bowmen, and you've got the whole group over here. You had initially told everyone to run towards the woods, and I'm imagining spearmen in the front.
In a line?
Yeah, horizontal line, right? Not like a column, but it's a...
Neal, what kind of question is it? Yes, a horizontal line towards the woods, parallel to the woods. We're
Perfect.
not duck rowing it down into the forest.
Perfect.
Jesus
You're not
Christ.
lining up for the lightning bolt spell to hit you. We have to make sure of these
Sure.
things. I don't want to assume.
No, Neal, if she's invisible and she comes from the right-hand side, she still lines up for a perfect lightning bolt if you want. Like, what is this hypothetical session? No, we're going parallel to the woods. Jesus
Perfect.
Christ.
Perfect. That's the plan. Chill out. From the woods, the orcs are not chasing Crumb. The orcs are doing a side and then parallel, perpendicular to your line and going this direction. They're not going super far. They're not
So
trying
they're going
to
in a
extend.
duck row is what you're saying. Because they're not going as a line, right? They're all one behind another?
They are. You have a formation. They have no formation. They are a chaotic sprawl, like an oval of people who are all constantly trying to outrun each other. And
Right.
all of your archers will easily be able to get off a full round of attacks on them. Their range from you is probably about 100 yards. You have longbows with broadhead arrows that will put these people... That'll put the orcs at I'm sorry, that's a short bow. At medium range for you, which is a penalty of 2 to hit, but your attacks are flanking attacks, so it's only a penalty of 1 to hit. And the orcs have bucklers, which are not useful right now, so they just have AC 13 instead of AC 14. And why don't you make me 8? Well, you got 7 regular archers. They can each get 2 shots around, so that's 14 d20. You want a 14 or higher on the dice. I'm sorry, you want a... Yeah, 14 or higher on the dice, yes. Yes, 14 d20, 14 or higher. And then Willa gets shots.
Didn't you say they're down to 13 AC?
Yes, but you're at medium range, which is -2 to hit.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 hits. One of them is a crit. So, so roll me 2d6 for the first hit. 7 damage, which will knock this one. I'm assuming these are not all perfectly targeting one orc in perfect
No,
battle
I don't think.
configuration.
No.
Excellent. And then give me another just 2d6s. Or 1d6, doesn't matter. 4 to this one. 4 to this one. Oh, so close. And Willa. I think we got a token for her, and she'll make 2 attacks as well.
I will roll it, thank you.
There you go. Here's a Willa.
I actually don't need the token. I'm on a sheet anyways.
All right.
So 2 attacks. Two of those.
7's a hit.
All right. 3 damage.
That will drop 1.
Okay. And
Fall
I
right
get
off
my
the
shots too. I take it.
Yep. Go ahead and make your shots.
Do I get 2 or 1?
2. Hit. Miss.
2 damage.
Will not do it. All right. You kill 1 orc,
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
and the rest head off in the direction of the city. Now,
Do they
party.
get actually out of long range for bows in that time? For long bows? How long do they ride? Because I assume you said they come out of the woods, so they've already spent that turn running out there, yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we spent time running in, so they're not running the full distance from here, are they? Otherwise, they'd have to roll
full
initiative and win that
range-
first, no?
The full range of a longbow is 170 yards. The medium range is exactly 100 yards. I'm just doing some real rough ballpark math and saying that they've got a round where they're running past you and their point of closest approach is about 100 yards. And I just had you make all of your shots at medium range instead of some at medium and then some at long.
Yeah, but where would that at turn end is my question.
Let's just, you roll a d10 for your side, I'll roll a d10 for their side. We'll see if you
What
get
is it
any
for?
initiative.
So, low is better.
Low is good, yeah.
4,
Yeah.
we win.
You
What
will
now?
be able to everyone can make 1 additional attack at long range. Why not? Which is
Excellent. Minus what, 4?
a total of minus
Oh my God.
5 instead of needing a
Hold
a
up,
14
sorry,
to hit,
one
you need a
second, I put
17
my
to
sound.
hit.
Sorry. We also
need
get back attack,
17
right?
to-
Because now they're behind us. We get back attack because you did the same to Krob
So
when
it's
she ran.
+2 for back attack, -5 for range. So a penalty of 3, essentially. You need a 16 or better to hit them.
Amazing. Okay, how many rolls do I get for my normal ones?
7 with your normals. Nope. And 1 for Willa and 1 for
Why
you.
not? What? How
You
much is
need
it? -2?
16s.
-3. All right. Oh, so clutch. So
Yes,
clutch.
so close.
2 points. All right. 1 for Willa, 1 for me.
Yep.
Okay, let's do Willa first.
Looking for a 16. No.
Nope. And 1 for
Oh,
myself.
goodness.
Well, I at least had the idea. You know, it's the only reason I'm rolling. It's because I'm arguing.
That's smart.
Critical hit. Roll me some double
Eat it!
damage.
Fucking finally.
Motherfucking eat it. Okay, what is it? Just 2d6? I'm gonna roll a 2. You just
Yeah,
guys
it's
just
2d6.
settle down.
You rolled a 2. Now
Oh
roll me.
my god.
There are
Oh.
9 of them. Roll me a 1d9 and we'll see which one you hit because 4 of them are already wounded. 3, 1, 2, 3. This one you will hit for 2 and they will be fine.
Amazing.
That's great,
I did
yeah.
it.
Excellent.
Well, good luck to the villagers. We tried.
All right,
No.
party. You have the evening, the dying light of the afternoon to get back towards town, and unless you want to take these 2 non-combat riding horses and send 2 brave people onto the village to fight all the orcs by themselves, does anyone want to go on a suicide mission?
We all have to go
I'm
together.
rather thinking that my question is, are we killing Vincent and Warden right here or are we taking them? You know, that's what I care about.
That's a good question. I think you look to Vincent and Vordrin, and you can tell me if this is
Are
not
they still
happening,
here?
Jeff.
Have they run?
I'm imagining they're back to back trying to untie each other's hands. Is that
No, actually, I looked at what the orcs were doing, and I was like, we both glance at each other and nod, and we just sit there like good boys.
all right? Well, Elaine, the orcs have gone. They're out of range. It'll take you 2.5 hours to get home, ish.
Oh, well, it is what it is. We'll
But you've
walk
got Vincent and Vordrin with you. What are we gonna do with these guys?
He said it was an ambush, and it was.
No, he said there was nothing there. That's what he
What did
said.
I tell
Then
you?
he
That is
went-
true.
Starts yelling.
Then he went. I'm going away from the yelling so I can talk to Krob. I'm gonna say, you can cover all your bases by just naming all the possibilities.
I
Okay.
start
What he
rolling up the
initially.
soldiers with Fordrin. I told you we were walking into an ambush. I said it all along. Now let me loose.
No, what he
What?
said at the beginning was that it was probably literally nothing.
It was a trap.
He
Fordrin
said it
says.
was entirely impossible for us to find them there. I said, Krob, I don't know. I think they're both a liability at this point, to be honest.
What are you asking me?
I'm not asking you to do anything. I can do it all by myself.
Now
I've
what
done
are
it
you
before.
doing? Vordrin riles up the soldiers. Quick, we gotta march back to the city to protect the citizens.
The soldiers stay very quiet, watching Elaine, watching you, watching Crumb, watching the orcs in the distance. It's a tense situation.
Let me at him. I'll run him down. Vordrin yells.
Isn't there a way? Isn't there a way that he's charmed and that he'll lose his charm? It'll drop.
I'll tell you something what I learned about charms, okay? They can last a very long time, long enough that people will come up and try to kill you. I have met people where I'm pretty sure they were charmed. I killed them for it because I had no other choice. The problem is, if people like you and I face a magic user, we have no way of knowing, okay? We don't know. And there's nothing you can do, and it can last a very, very long time from my experience.
What are you gonna do, Elaine?
Now,
So we can bring him with and hope that it wears off. Okay? Or we can end it right here for all of us.
you're asking me. You're telling I have to make the decision.
What do you want to do, Krob? You are the one who said we need to make some tough choices sometimes. You are the one who wanted to search those people in that tavern because you didn't trust them, right? What if it's one of us? What are you
Fordrin
going to do?
continues shouting at the soldiers. If you
We
had
don't
just
kill
done
him.
what Vincent wanted and stayed back in town, we'd be all here defending this town.
We can't
Look
kill
at where
them.
we are right now. We're out here in the middle of nowhere on a goose chase.
You know who could poison Vincent with a poison that wouldn't actually kill him, but would just make him sort of useless so he couldn't join in any fight? Vincent.
Me. I could do that.
Yeah,
I could
but
put him to sleep.
he also could have poisoned himself. Or Vordrin could have poisoned him. Maybe it's all lies.
Elaine, how about this? We tie them to the horses and I drug them. They're night-night for a long time. Night-night for a good long time. They can wake up, hopefully in a couple hours. They're gonna have the socks in their mouth. They're gonna be tied up, but let's give them a chance to be uncharmed. I don't want to kill them right now. Listen, I'm not against breaking a few eggs, but this is just... I don't want them to die right now. I don't want them...
Krob, we are losing all these people in a little bit because
It's up to you, Elaine. It is up to you. You are my commander.
I understand that, Krob, but I do believe you and I trust you and I want your opinion, and I know it's a difficult situation. I don't know enough I can't guarantee you that if we bring him, that the charm or whatever this is, or the madness, maybe it's just madness, you know, maybe what if there's nothing going on? Can you live with yourself if this is just them panicking? They're not military people, right? They don't have a mind for this. Not like, I don't know about Vordrin, but at least Vincent has never seen a combat this big, I'd wager, as somebody who's just making maps in a shop, okay? He might just be losing his mind. It's entirely possible. But if a soldier loses their mind, you can't risk the entire army on them.
up to you, Elaine.
Hey, Vordran talks to the soldier guarding him. What do you think they're talking about over there?
I love Wardren, by the way, spoken the entire campaign, about 40 words. Today, Wardren is like, man, I wonder what's going on over here. You should be an outside guy. Like, I've never seen him talk this much. If there's anything you might find suspicious today, I would like you to listen to this bodyguard who can't shut the fuck up. Like, that is the sussest thing I've ever seen.
Aren't we just assuming he's been talking to other people in the background this whole time?
You know, maybe he's the mastermind. Maybe he's actually Silverworth. He takes off the mask. It's been me all along.
I am good Geraldine. You
Well,
didn't know. That's my middle name. It's a man's name.
I vote for a short pee break wherein I decide who we're going to execute today. How about that?
We'll see you on the other side of our break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of Drekis. The orcs are off. Vordran is giving orders, or trying to convince soldiers, not giving orders, there's not an order in there, trying to convince soldiers to let him free. Elaine seems to be bent on a question.
I decided that we'd knock both of them unconscious and take them with us on the back of the horse. We'll pummel them until they're unconscious.
Well, you got a lot of soldiers around. They got non-lethal ends of spears.
I'll give the command.
It's the command to, like, pummel them. Vincent will try to, while muffled, he's going to kind of try to wave his hands around, but he's tied up.
I'll tell him to knock him out.
All right. They are pummeled into unconsciousness.
And then we're making our way towards town, I guess.
On your way.
Problem. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Problem. How are we gonna fight this?
We're losing. It's fine. I don't mind. We're not fighting this. We're like too few people. It's just a losing session. I'm not worried about that.
On your way to town, you can see as the sun sets, as the sky darkens, as everything gets plunged into... Where are we on the moon cycle here? Moon matters here. Oh, we're only... Today's the 12th. The 15th is the new moon. So actually there's a pretty good moon out right now. A waxing crescent at the gibbous at this point. And you can see off in the distance in the direction of town, all of a sudden, more lights coming on. And those lights clearly become the fires on the rooftops of thatched buildings that are being set ablaze. And you can make your way there, but light after light will spring forth on top of the buildings. It'll take you a couple hours to get there. And we're going to take a look at this map again, and we're going to come down to this bottom side of our map over here. The party's approaching from this arrow I'm making. The town is right here, and that is what seems to be aflame in some sections. Some roofs have tile roofs, and those don't burn very easily. Thatch roofs you can set on light, you set it on fire and move on to the next one real fast. Is the column that you're going with heading to town, or heading to the fort, or heading to Lord Campbell's estate?
I think we're going to town.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Is there
You
still a
get to
ship
town.
on the harbor?
Yes, there is a ship at the dock. It's been there ever since it arrived. It hasn't left. In the dead of night, not dead of night, but in the evening, and this lighting, you can't really see the ship until you're going to get into town. You're going to need to actually get to the harbor to be able to see anything.
How did it get here again?
Excuse me?
How did that ship get here? Who was sailing it?
This was
The
the ship.
slaves, the Eridonian slaves.
Well, there were two boats. There was the enemy boat that arrived, and then you killed all of the people that were manning it, and then you freed all the slaves who were rowing it. And then there was the boat that came to deliver message from the homeland. So technically, there are two boats here.
Elaine, we died in that town. We lose.
I don't think that boat would be here, Neal, because it would have landed on the other point where we usually would have met. We never told them to come into town.
Sure, they could be
Alright.
sitting out in the harbor. They could just be bobbing out in the water. I figured that they're probably going to want to be hanging out. We didn't talk what those people are doing, but they did send a small skiff to land to make contact with you, but that was days ago. So I imagine you probably said, yeah, sure, you can come and like get some food and sleep in a nice bed, or you might have told them to just live on the ocean by themselves and wait out there. We didn't quite cover that.
Okay, then let's backtrack it and say they stayed where I said they would stay the first time around these islands.
Sure. They'll stay on the other side of the islands, and from time to time, they'll poke their head out to see if you're
Yeah.
sending them a signal. All right.
No, like, pick up a message, right? That was the deal.
Right. So the party's coming into town, and you can see the easy to set afire buildings are set afire. The hard to set afire buildings are usually or more or less intact, unless they happen to be near a house that is in conflagration. If that's the right word. The group of you can march on into town, and you can see the orcs on their wargs. They're here still. They're definitely here. But if there was ever a pretend semblance of structure to their group, it's gone now. Because you get into town and you can see that there is an orc who has brought, the corpse of some individual on top of the warg. And he's got like an arm of the person in hand that he's just like holding out near to the fire to sort of like be roasting this arm. And is this orc really gonna be eating human flesh? Like that seems like that's an orcish that's a harmful orcish stereotype, but sometimes it might be true. But in this situation, you do have a dismembered person laid across this orc's lap.
Eating a baby.
But it's an orc by himself on his warg. He's not with any of these other orcs. They seem to be enjoying the pillage, so to speak. So what's the
Are they
plan?
like survivors? Where are they?
Like human survivors?
Yeah.
Well, they're not hanging out in the streets where you can see them. That's for certain.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, if they're.
I think we're going to make use of the chaos that's happening, and we'll organized walk through town, like as a group, picking off like stragglers if we find any.
Elaine, do you want to try and like reclaim this town, or do you want to get everyone on a ship and go back to safety? Like get the fuck out of here. We know what happened in Santa Barbara.
Riders. If they want to ride us down, they ride us down.
What do you mean?
How are we going to make it to a ship on foot with people against riders? Nope. We are walking through. Yep, exactly. I'm not backing down.
All right. You see this one orc in front of you, maybe 100 yards down the street, in the glow of the fire of the building nearby. Got this arm that he's holding out over the fire, slowly roasting it or something like that. What's the plan? Are you ordering archers to shoot him down, marching up towards him, more or less ignoring him?
We're trying to shoot him.
All right, great. This orc doesn't seem to notice you coming. As I said, you're 50, 100 yards, some good distance from him. He's got night vision, but the night vision doesn't stretch that far. And he's next to this bright fire of this burning building, which would wash out anything the great distance. So I think, at least with this first orc, you can get a full round of attacks off. And I'm certain you're going to kill him. In fact, I'm ready just to hand wave the shooting down of this orc, because you've got nine bowmen with you, all told. That's 18 shots. There's no way you're not doing like 8 damage to someone in 18 shots, especially at +2 to hit because he can't see you in the darkness. So the first orc, easy just to take down with arrows. And the warg will growl and howl and make a quick morale check. Filled with bloodlust is the warg. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the warg, happy for combat, hears the sound of twanging bows. The wargs are bred for war and goes like galloping in the direction of the sound of combat, ready to rip some more flesh from limbs. But these streets here, you can fit 4 people in a shield wall side to side. And we're just going to do a quick 1d10 for the warg. We're going to speed run some of this stuff, and a 1d10 for the party. Yeah, so the warg starts running down. You've got your shield wall set up in front of you. The warg will throw itself on the shield wall, you know, leaping forward to rip someone to shreds. It's got the bloodlust going in it. And it's a 10, which is not nearly good enough to hit someone. It'll throw itself essentially on a shield, and your 4 spearmen can probably make real quick work of this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually only 3 damage to the warg, who has a lot of HP. We'll get there, right? Because we've got. I'm only putting 2 here, but there's 4 because they're in close quarters. You know, the warg will come bolting down a situation like this, not actually in this exact spot, and attacking this guy here. Where is our city pillage? Here we go. Excellent. The spearman will, you know, stab at this warg, and we're gonna enter into like an actual sort of combat situation.
Are we not
here.
getting any attacks?
That's what I'm getting towards. Yeah. Because I imagine you
Why
have
are we getting them now?
You shot down the orc. The warg charged. I was just trying to hand wave some things to move things along quickly, that you would have your 4 spearmen in a spear wall in front of you. The warg jumps on him. You stab him. The orc is lying dead behind him. And I was going to run into the regular combat of the party.
Okay.
Unless that was not... I thought that was just a really easy, sensible plan to shoot the orc.
Sure. Go ahead.
The question is, what is... Now that there is 1 warg engaged with your soldiers, what's the plan? Bunker down, kill the warg, move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. You got a spear wall. You got 4 people up front. They've got 16 AC, 17 when they cover each other with their shields. You're going to leave it just to these 4 people to hack this warg to death, which they can do pretty easily? Or do you want to step forward yourself? Bow shots over your close quarter soldiers at the warg isn't really going to be possible. It's
No,
too...
I mean, I can just flank it, right? There's enough space here, no?
Yeah, you can find
Like-
come forward in front of the wall, find a spot.
Is the wall blocking everything in between the houses? I don't know, because we said they're wider than they are. Are they like this and I can't shoot?
You can find a flanking spot. Yeah, this is perfect. This is great. You can move off to the side to get an angle of attack. 12 against 14, plus 1 for flank. The 17 will definitely hit for 3 points of damage. Excellent. Crumb, you're here with everyone as well.
Yeah.
Where's a little crumpet over here? Excellent. Near to death yourself. The warg will make another bite. Still not a hit, and we're just gonna stab it down. One more. Let's
Or
see.
not.
Oh God! All right, so the warg is taking some amount of damage, and I think it's vastly outnumbered. 16 on its morale check on the next round. If the warg goes first, which it absolutely does not, it'll go last. Elaine, take 2 more shots. We'll get 4 more spears, and then the warg is gonna run, which is 5, 6, 7 damage. And the warg will bolt, provoking 4 opportunity attacks, although Elaine will probably just kill it right here anyway. So the warg goes down easy, as we expected. No damage to the party, couple of arrows lost. The group can move through the streets of the town. And as you're getting on down the main boulevard, actually getting towards the main section of town, you will see that there are 3 orcs on top of wargs in this main area near the fountain down here. I'm going to give them a check to see if they see you coming. That is an excellent roll on their perception. They'll see the cavalry, the metaphorical cavalry, the lot of you arriving. No one's surprised. I think this is our opportunity for initiative here. So let's just get
Can
some
we get the
people
little
on
tokens
the
up?
board. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting tokens for everyone. 1, 2. Okay, so we've got 3, 4. We've got this many archers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. We've got this many spearmen, this many archers, the 2 of you, plus 2 horses with Vordran and Vincent, and the goat herder who I was imagining leading the horses. That way we have all of our infantry available to us. And everyone except for our PCs is at full HP. And out here we have 1, 2, 3 wargs with an equal number of orcs on top of them.
Do we get to see which ones are the right ones?
I missed the operative word there. Which ones are what?
The hurt ones, because we shot them when they rode past. They're not at full HP, right?
Yeah. So there were 9 living ones. There are now 8 living ones, and 4 of them were injured. So 3d8. Orcs number 7, 3, and 1. So 2 of those are wounded orcs, and they have orc number 1, orc number 3. I will give them the appropriate HP piles. Orc number 1, orc number 3. There we go. So yeah, this is what you see. And they'll call to each other when one of them spots you. He's probably there to be able to spot you. They'll call and look in your direction, and the party will see them. What are your orders, Elaine?
I think we're going to block the exit, so like shield wall here, and then I don't know how wide this is. 1 person front here. Make sure we don't get surrounded.
I can't see where here and here is, but
Can you see my ping?
yeah. Okay, up here and here.
This and this I would like to block
Yeah.
first.
So one person, you can do 2 people to guard this passageway, but that's just people standing. If it's 4 people, then it's a full-fledged shield wall with AC bonuses.
Sure,
Okay,
we'll take that.
right. Send 2 more over here. Archers and you guys. all
And
in the
I
back.
don't assume there's any way to get a higher ground around from here. No
Definitely
way
not.
up the roof or anything like that. Can you go into the house, shoot from the window, like open up the grocer house and see if there's a window that's leading into this direction?
I'd imagine there might be, but the problem is that if we go in there, then we're in a freaking house, and we're like separated.
The grocer has bad lighting, apparently. You can see that there is windows in this house, but there are no windows in the grocer's. You can get people to boost each other to get on top of a roof if you would like. That is a doable thing.
Sure, yeah. I'll take a boost. And I'll guess we're trying to get some archers up. If that's possible.
Yep. We'll say these 2 soldiers are helping everyone else climb up. We'll get 4 on the butchers, and we'll get 4 on the grocers, plus a lane on the grocers. As you guys are climbing and the spearmen are moving, the wargs will rally around a call, and they're just going to ride north out of town. They're just going to leave. They're not here to fight to the end. This is just a raiding party. Get in, do some damage, take some stuff, and then get the hell out. And as you go to corner them, they'll just take this one northward route along the edge of the swamp, along the edge of the marsh. And as they go, they'll shout and bellow and beckon, and they'll pick up the other riders. I'm going to see if they can get all of them or if there's still a few more trapped in the area. No, they will grab all of them. And by the time the sun rises the next day, because there's not much to do here. You'll have killed 2 orcs, 1 warg. 1 warg has just run off, and the remaining 8 orcs have fled, leaving the town mostly intact, but all the easily burnable thatched roofs burned. The dawn comes. Vincent and Vordrin will slowly wake up as people look out across the less than optimal city.
I guess we'll have to help people assess the damage that was done. Have a look at who died. What's going on.
Yeah. You can get head counts. I don't know if any of that information is actionable. That's a good thing to do, but I don't know if that will change any of your decision making on what to do going forward. Also, what are we going to do about Vincent and Vordrin?
I don't know. I'll need my time.
These are
to
questions
think
for
about
next week.
Yep, because it's 11:01, so
Yes.
I need more than 1 minute to think about it.
That's a good decision right there. Don't make hasty judgments. And it looks like we will be back again next week for more Rise of Drekis, Chapter 2. We'll catch you guys next week. Good luck.